Welcome to the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He eats 5 McRibs in a single day, looks like John Turturro if he were the victim of a killer bee attack. Beef loaf. He made out with Louise Post while Richard Patrick watched. He's a consumer of fine beers, and he's anti-Paw Patrol. My Sox Summer. And your host. He still thinks the most racist thing in American history was leaving Shaq off the dream team. Therese E.
Thank you, Cornsey, and welcome everyone to the From the 108 podcast. Grab your drinks and get ready for a couple hours of baseball and bullshit. Let's start by kicking it around to the homies. My Sox Summer, how you living?
How you doing? It's great. I'm doing good. Today was a good day. Little Miss Shortstop decided that today would be the day that she did not rouse me from my nap and say, hey, guess what? I have to take a poop. And decided to take a poop all on her own.
Oh, yeah.
Which was fabulous, especially when I woke up and she said, hey, I just pooped all by myself. And I said, no, you didn't. And she goes, yes, I did. And then we went into the bathroom and it smelled like poop. And then I checked her Paw Patrol underwear. And while she had pooped very well, her wiping skills still have to be developed. So it's very similar to Eloy out in the outfield. So he's really good, but his defensive skills are just not as good, right?
I think that does qualify as it was a good day. I think that is also the missing verse of Ice Cube's today was a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a good
I totally
day.
agree. I also think that everyone here needs to work on their wiping skills too. Maybe not as much as that, but there's probably still a little bit of refinement left in the
Listen, I was impressed that she did it on her own, but, that's what happens when you nod out on your chair.
Well, I hope your heroin addiction's going well. Beefloaf, how you doing?
Therese, I'm great. I'm actually considering the fact that I think U2's greatest contribution to music
It doesn't exist.
is their cover of Baby Please Come Home.
You are high.
On a very special Christmas.
Oh, my God, no.
I'm serious. It's really, I tried to think of a song I like better than that. And there was a little twinkle of Bullet the Blue Sky, but I thought I would rather listen to this song than Bullet the Blue Sky. So I'm considering
Bullet
that.
the Blue Sky way more. I think Baby Please Come Home sung by someone who can sing would be a huge upgrade over the YouTube version.
Therese, how you doing, baby?
I'm doing good, man. I had some drinks last night. Maybe
Rumor has it.
maybe too many drinks, as they might as they might say in the streets. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty lit up last night.
Overserved.
And then but I was able to get into work before 8 a.m. today.
That was awesome.
So I'm a little tired, but that's never stopped me from, having 8 or 9 beers with you guys.
Exactly.
And getting through 2 to 4 hours of show. So
having lots of opinions too. There's no question.
I'm pretty excited. You're going to hear a lot of Here's the Things tonight. This is going to be a wild ride. Speaking of which, let's remember the drinking game rules. If My Sox Summer doesn't know a player, you drink.
Yep.
If Beefloaf walks away, or if he uses an advanced metric, you drink.
Yes.
If Therese curses or says, here's the thing, you take a drink.
That's coming hot and heavy tonight. I can feel it.
If Manny or Harper sign while we're doing this show, we're all doing a shot.
I love it.
Sounds good.
Beefloaf, tell us what we got going on Friday.
Friday, we have an event with our best buddies, the Sox Machine. That's going to be Josh, and I believe now it's going to be Jim. I saw a picture at Midway Airport.
Really?
He's in town. I guess he's probably in town for Christmas. So I think it's going to be Josh and Jim, the three of us fucking knuckleheads, and then Steve, NWI Steve from Loop Sports. We're going to be doing a little roundtable action at Low Res Brewery, which is 2101 South Carpenter. The event starts at 6. Tentatively, the roundtable will probably start about 7, but we'll be boozing before 6 o'clock. So if you show up a little bit earlier, I should be there by 5:30 at the latest, knocking down some booze. The roundtable's at 7. We're also going to be doing a white elephant. So bring your White Sox stuff giveaways that you maybe don't like that much. Wrap them up, and we're going to do a little bit of a gift exchange. We were hoping to have the Kannapolis Intimidators Luis Robert Ball. Do we have that yet?
That has not shown up yet.
Okay, we don't have it
yet. They told me they sent it last Wednesday, which makes me think someone else owns it at this point.
Now, I will say, if they send it first class, and Mailman Jack might say something different. It's probably gotten way pushed back. There's a good chance we might have it.
Okay,
because it's only been a week. So
possession is 9/10 of the law.
I'll keep
I
an
think
eye
it could
out. I'll update it. If I get it. I'll post and say the Luis Robert ball's here.
Is here.
And I won't give my address because people will break
Don't
into my
do
house
that.
and steal that shit. But just come on Friday instead and steal it.
They just all have my address. I will not have the Lou Bob ball, so do not come to my house.
The round table is going to feature us, our Festivus, us airing of grievances. And I chatted a little bit with NWI Steve from Loop Sports on Twitter, and he claims to have a really good list. He's very pumped up about his list. The other thing is you'll have to pin him at the end of the night to end it for the feats of strength, okay? We're going to be counting on you, My Sock Summer. You're the biggest guy we got right now. I don't think you can pin Steve, so we might have to hit him with a crowbar.
I'm trying to get Jan Machado to come to pin him. That's
our only hope, yeah.
Are we going to have a Royal Rumble to do that? Or is it just a one-on-one thing? Or do we just all go at it and then people get tossed over something and then the last two go with each other?
Just envisioning you and I hand in hand jumping off the top rope is the thing. Listen. Someone needs to Photoshop that. That's all I got to say.
We could be, remember the Natural Powers? When it was Earthquake and, who is the other guy?
Coco Beware. No,
I don't know. No. It was.
I don't know wrestling.
It was the two big fat guys in the WWF. Then it was
King Hippo,
the Twin Towers. It was, but they were called the Natural Disasters. Jimmy Hart was their manager. Of
course.
And it was it was Earthquake.
Aloha,
and
Mr. Hand knows him. So
Tidal Wave or something. But two big fat guys that somehow did not die while they were wrestling. I don't know how that possibly happened.
That's
Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine.
Could help us too.
Hey, so we're drinking something tonight.
Yeah, what are we drinking?
I have. I did a little fun thing because we happen to be at a big superstore. So I bought a couple surprise beers that I will announce later when we break them out. Our first beer, though, is the Celebration Fresh Hop IPA from Sierra Nevada. Now, I'm not a big fan of Sierra Nevada, and I bought this because why? It was $8 for a 6-pack.
Cheapest shit you could find.
And it seemed like it was kind of,
it's a Christmas,
festive, right?
Christmas beer.
This tastes exactly like every fucking Sierra Nevada beer I've ever had in my entire life. It has no difference from any of the other stuff. And it tastes just like Sierra Nevada. So if you are into Sierra Nevada, get the Celebration Ale. It might be a little bit more piney and a little bit more crisp. Because it seems like it's a little bit fresher than what we get the regular IPAs from Sierra Nevada. But it tastes just the same.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of this, which is bad news because that usually means I'm just going to drink it fast.
Do you need another one?
I'm almost.
I do actually as well.
I'm going to bring it out.
I'll be honest. I think it's going down nice and smooth, and I'm really enjoying it. Actually, I wasn't expecting a lot of flavor from this.
Well, fuck you,
I was just expecting it to be a nice drinkable beer, and that's what it is.
How dare you not agree with us, you prick?
I mean,
it's just being marketed as sort of Christmassy, so I want a little fucking nutmeg in this shit or something,
Oh, you didn't want all that nutmeg?
No, I don't like it.
Nutmeg.
I don't like it, but I'm saying
being a whiny little bitch.
Don't just put a new fucking label on it, the same fucking beer, and say, "Oh, this is something different. It's a celebration ale. I'm doing blah blah blah."
Look, it's their signature. That. It's like when you hear Slash's guitar, you fucking know what it is,
yeah,
right? You could blind taste this and know it's Sierra Nevada.
Oh, you definitely.
And I think that's a good thing.
Yes, you're
but
not wrong.
It's Slash's guitar playing a very shitty solo, is what it is, though. That's the problem.
It's Slash's Snake Pit and not Guns N' Roses.
Whoa. Well, Slash's Snake Pit is pretty good. All right,
it's Slash playing "Live and Let Die."
I like that song. Come on, I even like the Wings version.
What about what was the Bob Dylan song that they did? The Blue album that you usually listen to.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank.
Something about what is it good for?
Civil War?
No.
That's Civil War.
So
there's a Bob Dylan. Mama, take these guns from me.
Yeah. Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Knocking on Heaven's Door.
I just was coaxing you to get a verse out.
To do my Axel?
Yes, I just wanted to. You know what? Axel is way fatter than you now.
I was going to say, now that he is fat, we sound exactly the same.
Wait. No. You saw that picture that he looks like...
throw him on from the train.
Yes, he does. He looked exactly like her. He looks like an old lesbian.
It's a good look. It's a good fucking look.
It's amazing.
The bullshit is flowing early, folks. It is flowing early.
All right, so one thing we wanted to... It's a few days before Christmas right now. I think we're going to take a little break because we're going to be out of town or wherever and not be able to do the podcast for at least until probably the first week of January.
I think it's going to give people some time to catch up because I noticed a few people on Twitter mentioning it. They're starting to binge listen to these things. So
and I think the people who listen on Spotify, now Spotify fixed the bug. Of course, there was a bug with our podcast. Of course. So, like, you could see the episodes before, but you couldn't, like, subscribe to our podcast or look at our podcast as a thing.
Right.
So they fixed that last night.
Okay.
And so people who are on Spotify are now, like, going through AC. So that's good. And so we've also, we usually start the soaks with a humble brag, but humble brag, we've hit 1,000 downloads.
Beautiful! That's a start, baby. Yes. That's us.
So one of the things we want to talk about today is Christmas traditions, since we're so close to the holiday. So I'll let My Sock Summer. Why don't you go first with your Christmas tradition?
So I went back to the old days when I was a kid. Because I think that the traditions were a heck of a lot stronger back then. And we would go to my dad's mom's house for Christmas Eve. And we would open presents and hang out. We always had oyster stew, which is a big thing for the Swartley side. Oh, Jesus. My dad's side family. It doesn't even matter anymore. It's gone.
What is an oyster stew? Like, what's the consistency
of
butter
oyster stew? And oysters.
That's basically it.
And I have no idea how it started.
So I know I'm not trying to make. Yeah, I'm trying to make this gross.
Yeah, it is gross. Well, not really.
Does it just look like semen?
No. It just looks. It's butter.
He said butter. I was expecting it's cream butter as well. I thought it was a creamy thing.
No, it's not like a chowder.
Right.
It's it is like a soup.
The oyster looks like lung butter, obviously.
It's a
shitload butter and lung butter, basically.
It's a shitload of butter and then like milk.
See?
So
there is milk.
It's a little frothy, but it's not
it like New England clam chowder.
But no, it's not. The consistency isn't that. It's just like milk and fucking butter. Like it's just not. No, it's not thick.
It looks like Peter North's been cooking in his
kitchen.
It's
gold.
He's been stirring it with his wand.
Oh, it's golden.
It's golden.
Okay.
The butter.
So the milk doesn't make it.
No. There's more butter than there is milk. I'm assuming. I don't know. No, but so my dad makes it now.
Do you eat it at all or no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Actually, I like it. And then my uncle used to like it.
I think I'd probably enjoy it too.
And it was my grandma made like that, like the ambrosia salad.
Okay.
With the apples and the little marshmallows and stuff. My grandma was like a Betty Crocker, 1950s Betty Crocker. Like she could just make the shit out of anything. She used to make really good rhubarb pies. And rhubarb coffee cake.
She used the Easy Bake Oven.
This is it's so fucking Midwest to be like, yeah, it's got apples and marshmallows and cake. It's a salad. It's a fucking salad.
I think it's ambrosia. I think that's what they call it, is ambrosia salad. It was really good. My uncle really liked that too. And then we go to my mom's mom on Christmas Day, and that's when I would hang out with Farmer Matt. And we would go over there and open presents, and that was mostly Italian food, but mostly like a pork roast, and then usually ravioli too, because you can't just have ravioli for Thanksgiving; you got to have it for every freaking holiday. So
sure,
we do that. And what was always best is Farmer Matt used to get really, really good presents as a kid. And I remember when the Nintendo came out, and he got the Nintendo.
Oh shit! You guys opened that up and playing it right away. I assume, right?
You would assume, right?
Yeah.
But Matt had already put in like 6 hours before I got there. So he was not interested in playing Excite Bike anymore. And my aunt was like, just let him play the damn game, because I was like, I want to play this. I don't even know this, And I never got a Nintendo. So it was my first exposure to Nintendo. And then he used to whoop my ass in every Nintendo game because he had a Nintendo and I didn't have a Nintendo. Yeah. So he always beat me up. So,
now he whoops your ass in edibles.
Yeah, he just whoops my ass and everything. So yeah, no, that's basically it. We didn't really have like any hard traditions. Our family, Christmas Eve is spent with my wife's family, and then we either host or go somewhere, and then we go to my folks on Christmas Day. So we drive back Christmas morning. We always stop in DeKalb. It's great times.
Beef loaf?
And nowadays, I'll swing back because I want to go back to back in time traditions. Nowadays, half the time I'm here in Chicago. When I am, I host. And then Teresi and his lovely wife, and then our parents, they all come over and we have a little celebration there. Or I'll go down with my wife's family and in Texas, and we'll spend some time with them.
Yes.
Back in the day, I mean, I can remember, Teresi, you probably can remember this too. The initial tradition was this horrible family party that we would go to at someone's house that we would see once a year. And they would be having like their big Christmas celebration, and they'd have all these gifts and shit. And then there'd be no gifts for us, and we were kids, right? So my mom put the kibosh to that bullshit. She's like, we ain't going to that fucking party no more, or whatever. And so we started going on Christmas Eve. We'd go to Chinatown and go out for dinner. And that was probably from when we were, I don't know, 10 years old maybe on. Like we would do that. But my fondest Christmas memories are all crazy shit, and almost all of it was by Mad Max, okay? My old man, I could remember vividly him pulling like a 9-inch piece of tinsel out of our cat's mouth. It was only a half-inch showing. He looked at the cat. He could see that the cat had been eating tinsel. He grabbed it and he starts pulling, and you couldn't believe it. It was like a goddamn magic trick. You know, when they pull all the handkerchiefs out, that's how much of that shit came out of this fucking cat. I mean, Tracy, can you remember the time when he had all the chocolate bottles?
Oh yes, I know this story.
And he them to the dog. He was like,
yeah. So this is back in like the 80s, right? The 80s and early 90s, and it's like now you know. Here's like the two worst things you could give to a dog: chocolate and alcohol. And we're just fucking throwing them to the dog.
It wasn't one; it was like a dozen of these little bottles, and the dog was shit-faced but excited as hell all at once. That dog lived a long time too. I think that had an effect. I'm starting to think it's bullshit that it's that big of a deal. I think probably alcohol's a little worse for the dog than it is for the humans, and the same thing with the chocolate. I don't think it's as bad as people overreact to, because that dog, I mean, drank like a whole fifth that night. It was fine.
I just remember the dog was very fucked up. And like it walked around in a circle and then just passed out. Right? And like in hindsight, we should have been like checking its fucking pulse. Yes. But like we were just like,
but Mad Max just laughing his ass off.
Like,
He's like, fucked up.
He'll sleep it off.
Fine. Don't worry about it. You know. One other thing I remember from childhood is one time Teresi and I tried to stay up to see Santa. And we tried to stay up. And my parents, I actually asked Mom and Dad if they want to fucking kill us from this. Because I remember we were up till like 3:30 in the morning. We finally pass out. And it's like when you stay up really late and pass out and then you wake up, it's like that. You snap your fingers like you're awake.
Yeah.
And I could distinctly remember, I'm probably 9 years old. So I'm like at the edge of my Santa belief still. And I remember waking up, my dresser, the three little motherfucking Rice Krispie treat guys are sitting on my dresser just staring at me. It's sort of a thing that like Santa's been here and all your toys have arrived. And I was like, shit, I can't believe we didn't stay up for this.
I like that. Like the creepy snap, crackle, and pop people are what you relate to. Oh, Santa's been here. And they're staring at me.
Well, I knew they weren't there when I went to sleep. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know?
The best shit was like if it was like a year where like my dad was in charge of being the Santa Claus and like put the Santa Claus gift there, right? It was always fucking wrapped in aluminum foil. Like Santa had a down year on his stocks. Just fucking aluminum foil for everybody.
Dude, aluminum foil is more expensive than wrapping paper, probably.
I don't know.
You know,
that's a lot less effort.
Yeah, it's just low effort.
But as we got older, though, and friends, and everything, initially, like our group of friends, we started organizing a Christmas dinner, but that crapped out because we had too many cheap motherfuckers trying to just like pay exact change and shit. They forgot about the 7 beers they had and all that stuff. So that's when we converted it to a house party, which ended up working out much better because everyone brings their own shit. You throw in for the food, and it ended up just being a much cleaner thing. There was a little time in there where we would just exclude a bunch of people and do some shit for Christmas. But we opened it back up probably the last 7-8 years to everybody sort of coming to the Christmas party.
And now, like, everyone's got so much shit going on. It's probably going to be in, like, January.
Yeah, exactly. It's been pushed off so far.
We'll see what happens.
I was like, because I didn't get an invite. So fuck you fucks if I didn't get an invite.
So
take it easy.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Maybe I did.
Cornsey says,
Treasy,
RIP in peace, Christmas house party.
Very true. How about you, Teresa?
We got a podcast.
So I mean, like you covered a lot of our stuff from childhood and like all the ridiculous shit that we did. But like now, one of the Christmas traditions that me and Cornsey have is to like watch a bunch of Christmas movies.
Nice.
And I think I've soured her on Christmas Vacation because last year we were watching it and I told her that we're more Todd and Margot than we are Griswold. And
That's clearly true.
It was I got a look, man. I got a fucking scary look. Like you don't want. But yeah, I mean, we kind of are.
Yeah, you're the yuppies for all kids. You're the yuppies for all kids.
You guys have a little bit more like style though.
I mean,
than Todd and Margot. Like it isn't.
Todd and Margot got mad style. What are you talking about?
No, dude. I don't think Todd and
Mad
Margot
80s style.
Oh, first off, Todd and Margot would not have Christmas lights wrapped around their air vent.
That's true.
In their place.
That's true.
They would not have a damn Christmas tree that changes from white light to colored lights.
I had to look and see if I had that.
I know you were looking. You were looking. I was like, "What?"
You're like, I wouldn't
think
either.
I'm going to say.
By the way, Beefloaf, you know who plays
Guys have
Todd?
style.
I know you know who plays Margot.
I do know who plays Margot, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, but I have no idea.
Todd is like an unknown kind of name in acting, but his brother is Christopher Guest.
Really? I
Yes.
was unaware. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Have a drink.
Hey, well, I mean, he's not a ball player, but he is in Spinal Tap, so you should drink for
Yeah,
that.
you
I
should drink
don't
for
like
that.
Spinal Tap either.
What?
Slim Mick.
Whoa.
So you don't like Spinal Tap? Or
Did you
you've
say
seen
you
it?
don't like Spinal Tap?
I don't really care much for it. No.
Have you seen Spinal Tap?
No, here's the thing.
Like I've seen it on like VH1 Movie Classics or something.
Treasy,
I was not. I probably need to get
my
into
sex summer's humor right
I'm actually gonna rip your mic out in a second. You're just
No.
This is it. This is the end of the friendship.
Just turn it to 11.
Just rip a few nose hairs out.
I actually did some trimming. Good. No, what was that? I was going to say something, and now I got all. Oh,
You were
I was going to
talking
Slim
about
Mick.
other-
Slim Mick is MFing me on the Twitters right now because he knows I don't like the
Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
He's upset with you.
I'm glad that me and Corey
you
are
don't-
in the same boat.
No.
because she doesn't like it either. Now.
Cornsey likes Christmas Vacation.
Oh, she likes it?
I just
She
fucked
just doesn't
it.
like
I
the
just
reference.
fucked it up. She
Oh,
gets,
see.
but you don't like Christmas Vacation and you don't like Spinal Tap?
Okay, it's not that I don't like Christmas Vacation. I thought Christmas Vacation was a great movie. But I've had to watch that movie 17,000 fucking times. Like, it's just enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like a good porno. You know, you don't want to watch it over and over and over. It's a movie.
Even that you get tired
It's
of
just,
eventually.
and then you know what you don't like also is when you're watching it wrong, a bunch of people that quote the fucking quotes before it even happens.
Oh, that's
It's like-
annoying.
and then
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
fucking hear it, you know? So it's just, that really turned me off. And it was always Thanksgiving Day with the family. And not my family, but it is my family, but extended family. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, fucking again. I remember I spent a Christmas down in San Diego with my aunt and uncle, and I had it on a VHS tape, but the VHS tape also had Caddyshack on it and another Chevy Chase movie.
If you tell me you don't like Caddyshack, I'm going to
No.
fucking kick you out of my house.
So here's what happened. So I bring the tape down.
Have you ever laughed before?
We didn't even get to Christmas Vacation. We just watched Caddyshack, and it was the best Christmas ever.
Yeah, Caddyshack's awesome.
Caddyshack is fantastic.
Original Caddyshack.
Yes.
Caddyshack 2 is a big pile of shit.
I don't even I don't even know what
Jackie
Caddyshack
Mason.
2 is.
All right. Now we're getting past Christmas. It's time for New Year's.
I love it because we're not going to do a pod before New Year's.
Let's get these New Year's resolutions out there.
Excellent.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it,
Because
Mr. Summer.
I don't have a lot to do. I took it seriously, and I don't know if I should have. But yeah, I am going to try to work my way back into the gym, I think, this year.
Yes.
Because I think that my mental health is suffering and my waistline is suffering because I am not hitting the gym. And I'm not going to be I'm never going to smoke cigarettes again. I am going to pledge to smoke less in 2019.
I thought you were going to go more. I thought you were going to go more. I'm going to fucking
no.
smoke
I
more than
almost
I've
know.
ever smoked.
So,
Chris, Teresa, I almost took this bottle and smashed it over my head. I'm so excited for my sex summer there.
No. I'm gonna try to smoke less. I'm sure that will all go to hell once opening day starts. But that's my thing because the girls are getting older, and I think Little Miss Shortstop is starting to figure out that I'm not going out to take out the garbage. Sometimes when I leave, so I don't want to be in that situation. So we'll see what happens. But smoke less.
Can we just change yours up a little bit?
Yeah.
So we'll just, instead we say smoke less cigarettes, but increase your shitty cigar intake. Like start smoking Wildwoods or something. Like
when we did the cloves, right? I went to the smoke shop back in my parents' hometown, and I bought 2 packs of cloves, and I sent them a text, and I'm like, I bought 2 packs of cloves, so we're good for the Sunday smoke or Saturday smoke. And by the time the Saturday smoke occurred, we had 2 cloves left.
He goes,
I can remember signing up for it, and you're like,
all of
that was all you had. I was like, what's
he
going on?
handed it to me. He goes, yeah, if you want more than one, go ahead. And I opened the pack, and I was like, there's one. There's one in here.
I have a problem. Yeah.
All right, B-Fluff, what's your New Year's resolution?
So I attacked this a little differently. In the past, what I've done is I put together a big list. I put together 50 or 100 things.
Jesus Christ.
That I want to accomplish in the next year. Because I don't like the traditional New Year's resolutions because from what I've read, 80% of those fail by February. Everyone are soft fucking pussies and they just give up. So I would put together a list of like 50 or 100. And then my asshole brother, Teresa E., along with my asshole wife, Mrs. Beefloaf, would make fun of me for this list. And talk about, it's your to-do list. Those aren't resolutions. Those aren't goals. It's a to-do list.
Like, what's an example of something? Like, put pants on.
Well,
Is that one of them?
My biggest one that I accomplished in the past was learn how to swim.
Oh,
I never learned how to swim, but as an adult, I learned how to swim.
Yeah, see, I thought that was more of a resolution. I thought listen to, 25 albums was not.
25 albums I had never heard. Yeah, exactly. So,
but I like that, though. I like it.
Everyone's sort of...
I like him listening to the albums.
It's like
and I helped him pick some of them out.
Yeah, you did help me pick them out.
I don't think it's a resolution.
Yeah.
It's not like he'd never listened to albums before.
It doesn't have to be like that. See, this is where I like to quibble with this, and people are assholes about stuff, right? Why does everything got to be a huge goal? So
that's true.
Then I was thinking about it a little bit more. I was like, why don't people do reverse resolutions? Why not, instead of I'm going to hit the gym, like you said, my sex summer, how about I'm going to gain 17 pounds? Would that be my resolution?
Yes, I like this. I like where this is going.
I'm going to black out 5 more times than 2018. That could be my resolution, too. Those are my 2 official 108 resolutions.
I'm going to go harder.
It's upsetting, though, because everyone's like, lose weight or get in shape. How about stuff that really would help you? How about reading more? How about meditating? How about getting better rest at night? How about just being nice to other motherfuckers would be a good start.
That's a good start.
Okay, so what I sort of thought was
be less of an asshole. Is
your
mode?
That's brother. That's sort of me as a general thing. No, I already listed my 2 resolutions.
Okay,
I'm going to gain 17 more pounds, and I'm going to black out 5 more times than in 2018. But being who I am in the 108, I felt I should take it upon myself because I'm a big Adam Carolla fan. Adam Carolla, they asked him the one year, I think it was 2015 or something. What's your New Year's resolution? His New Year's resolution was for everyone else to get their shit together.
That's a good one.
And I always say, don't do your best. Do my best. I do as good as I would do. So what I'm going to do tonight for everybody is I'm going to give my socks summer and Teresa E some resolutions for 2019.
I fucking hope that your resolution is actually the same one that I have written for myself. I think that would be hilarious because it could be.
My socks summer, I'm going to go first with you. Okay? I got 3 resolutions for you. Okay? Are you ready for these?
I am.
Okay.
I'm going to write it down.
Number 1.
I
want you to set the tone. Set the tone for not only you as a super fan, but for the 108ers. And bring in your own fucking pimp steaks on $1 hot dog night. I want you to show up with the goddamn $0 hot dog while everyone else is racing around for the $1 hot dog. And you show how much of a fucking alpha you are, okay? I put that one in there for Wally Money. I knew he'd be way on board with that, okay? Number 2. And it sort of chides against your resolution. I know it's bad for your health. And I know you're overweight and you're a ticking time bomb. But I want you to keep fucking smoking, right? I know it might cause some problems at home, maybe, okay?
And you're a ticking time bomb.
But the Saturday smoke is the funniest fucking video we ever made because of the way it looked. You 2 looked awesome smoking like that. And it was so... I wasn't involved in it. I just helped set up and everything. I was off camera laughing my fucking balls off just at how you guys looked. But the content was also great because you guys went in different directions and sort of talked music and stuff.
So talk more Silverchair too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
And number 3,
that's where we bonded.
It was
musically.
This one is from the heart. I want you to finally design that T-shirt that transcends not only us and the White Sox and just becomes this monster And I know that you got that in there somewhere
right?
Between the cobwebs of what used to be your synapse. You can snap those together and create a T-shirt for us. I'm pretty sure.
If you only smoked more, you would come up with this idea.
Treasy, they're tied together. All these are tied together.
I know.
It is.
They'll feel alpha for the pimp steaks and the smoking. Treasy E, you're next. Okay?
All right. Let's get it.
The first one, on Friday nights. Could you just try to stay awake for the 9th inning occasionally? It doesn't have to be every game, but at least once in a while.
You did it. So let me give my resolution before you go on with the rest of your resolutions, because my resolution is a single sentence, and it is sleep more at home and sleep less in public.
That's a strong one right there. That's a very strong one.
I should have made mine more 108 related.
Number 2, about it. Your beard. Brother, you got to pick a fucking lane. You either become full Randy Quaid, or you trim that shit down and keep it trimmed down, okay? When we were at low res, your beard was floating in my personal space. I couldn't. It was too crowded. I couldn't back up, and I was like leaning back trying to talk to you, and it was ugly. We can't.
You act like you didn't fucking like it.
I mean, so I got my mouth.
I caught you reaching out to just give a little touch to the edges.
It was more pushing it back than it was trying to touch it. But regardless.
So that's a yearly thing. Like during my busy season at work, I don't shave at all. Like I don't trim at all.
Beard.
And shit gets huge.
Yeah. Harvest. Harvest time.
It is harvest.
and then what's cool is like right at when the busy time's over, I shave it off. I eat all the food that's been left in there from the past 2 months. It's a really great.
It's like a squirrel.
It's a really great morning
to
do that. I love it.
Hamster cheeks.
Exactly.
Like you put all your hamster cheeks in.
Treasy, your last resolution for me is to finally put into effect. We've been talking about it for 3 years now. Finally put into effect the Inside Sox Park bar crawl.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. We're finally at the level where we got enough followers and people where even if we did it on a weeknight, we'd probably get a good turnout.
Yeah.
And it would be hilarious. I think a lot of people would enjoy doing that.
See, I think the Sox tried. Nah.
They
tried to do it.
They tried to do it. If you do it with a 108 crowd and maybe you...
They did some bullshit, right? Like, I mean, like
It wasn't as fun?
They made you pay all this money to get in a park early.
Yeah.
And then they gave you, like, a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like,
what are we going to give them? Hand jobs?
It's fucking free. Our event.
Well, not free.
It's free to get in.
You pay $7 to get in the upper deck, and then you just walk down.
You just walk around.
And then we walk around and drink some beers.
Maybe you have to buy one of the shirts that I create that's the best. The best ever shirt.
Or we'll strangle you with one of those as the prize for not you, one of the lucky fans.
Oh yeah,
okay. Yeah, that is a lucky.
It's like don't kill me. I'm not worth anything dead to you guys.
No, of course not. Because right now you need to pay some bills for us.
That's right.
Sounds good. Holidays got you down. Has that high school sweetheart relationship gone sour? Need to leave your current home before your dick of a husband gets drunk with the boys again and breaks one of your great-grandmother's china? Call Dan at Dutch Movers. With 25 years experience, he's seen your situation before and he won't judge. His crew can pack you up and move you safely into your new home sweet home. Maybe he'll even stay the night if you're scared that your husband will come by and try to change your mind. At 6'7" and 10 inches, he's not the man you want to mess with, even in a good way. Premium shipping supplies used for every move, not some old newspapers. He brings the bubble wrap. Ready to make that change? Call Dan at 708-331-2990 and get that appointment booked. Life is too short to deal with an asshole. Make that change and start LIVING. And as always, if it ain't Dutch, it ain't much.
That was great.
6, 7, and 10.
Nice job.
Just fantastic.
I do pretty good until you guys start laughing.
I can't help it. I love that line.
You started laughing, and then I started laughing, and then you started laughing.
You start laughing early.
Yeah.
In the fucking
Well, he
the
went
beginning
first,
before it
though.
even gets funny.
I like the early part.
Because
but-
you're like, you know we're going to get to the 6'7" and 10 inches.
Remember when we started this tonight?
Yeah.
And we were like, and I was like, oh, either I'm going to get drunk really quick.
Oh,
or,
you need a beer?
Yeah, I need one right
Okay.
now. But either I'm going to get drunk real quick or I'm just not going to get drunk at all. Like, I won't be able to get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen. The drunk real quick happened.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Congrats.
So let's get into...
Hold on.
Oh, go.
I got a question for you guys.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Do you guys like Lando Calrissian or don't like Lando Calrissian?
Love him.
Love Lando. He's up first.
Love Lando.
Up first.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
The Colt 45 tall boys, baby. Now,
Oh, man. These
I
are
picked
special.
these up at 112th at Walmart Supercenter. $347 for this 4-pack.
Very nice.
Right? Less than $1 a piece. A lot of action. A lot of alcohol.
There's a lot of action.
Let's get it going, boys.
Let's do it.
I wrote a paper in college about Colt 45.
You did.
Yes. It's in a marketing class. Because it's a classic example of what they call predatory marketing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the 45, actually, I don't know if they still are. They're probably more now. I got to look and see if it's even on here. But, like, back in the day, there were laws against putting how much alcohol was in your beer. Because it would, it basically would be
Entice
for
people to buy it.
alcoholics,
Yeah.
right? Because, like, hey, this has the most alcohol. So they said you can't do that shit. And most beers were like 3.5% back then. Right?
Yeah.
And so Colt 45 was 4.5%. So they're like, well, let's figure out a way to put this fucking 45 right here. Let's name this beer Colt 45. So like it was a fucking presentation that I had to give to a class, right? So I wrote the paper and then I give a presentation. And so I just had a fucking Billy D. Williams picture behind me for the entire presentation.
Was he drinking a Colt 45?
It was the Colt 45 ad.
Yes. Those are good.
That's amazing. That's sort of like playing the record backwards and hearing the special message. That's what this is like.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever ingested a Colt 45.
I haven't either. So
Oh.
this is going to be my first.
I did
My first
at the when we were on that Sox trip down to KC.
The mystery beer machine.
The mystery beer machine.
Yeah.
How was it
I
then?
had, it was bad. It's not good.
Still not
But
good?
I'm gonna enjoy it right now.
All right.
Let's live it up, guys.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers-
I'll
cheers
cheers
to
with
Lando.
this, and then, yeah.
Cheers to Lando.
I like that Beef Loaf put it in a glass.
I did. I thought I was going to get the correct aromas going on.
That is something.
I mean, that's not horrible.
All right.
That's fine.
Let's talk
It tastes
about
mostly like an aluminum can.
let's talk about some whack jobs. All right. Coming up in the near future, the White Sox are going to start getting good.
I don't even want to talk about this.
They're going to
Oh,
start
I
getting
can't
better and
believe
better. And as that happens, we're going to have to shed some of the dead weight, right? So you're going to lose guys that maybe you've grown attached to, right? Like you like this, like I know there's a big
Josh
big
Fegman.
part of the exactly. There's a big part of the fan base that is like really likes Adam Engel,
Yeah.
right? Or or Nicky Delmonico, right? And I like these guys too. Like I want them to succeed, but if they don't,
there's even guys like Jose Abreu. That,
Jose
at
Abreu,
some point.
it's probably going to come at the end of this year,
Yeah,
right? Because
very
they know
likely.
he's actually 45, so they're not going to keep him. So I was thinking, and me and Beefloaf were talking about this a little bit. It's kind of like in like all the HBO shows,
Yeah.
where they kill off like these guys that you really like.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk about, instead of trying to decide who's going to be the guy from the Sox that we lose that we're going to be mad about, who's the guy that you were mad about, like a character that you were mad about dying in one of the HBO shows?
Yeah.
Beefloaf,
You go first, Beef.
I'm happy to. It's no secret that my favorite HBO original show is The Wire. I share that also with Wally Money. He's a big Wire guy too. I love The Sopranos, and I thought about going in that direction, but I ended up not going.
See, that's
in
where
that
I thought you
direction.
were going to go.
No, the reason I didn't go in that direction is because there were surprising kills in that movie, but there weren't as many like heartbreaking whack jobs in that movie. There weren't that many. Like a lot of times people were pretty deserving of them getting whacked. Whereas
Bobby, not so much.
that's true. I mean there's a handful.
Kill a guy in a fucking toy train store.
There's a hand, yeah, but when you're up in the hierarchy, you deal with price, you pay the price sort of thing, right?
You.
So, everyone probably think I would pick Omar because Omar getting whacked out in the Wire is the most fucked up shit because of the way it happened.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually. One of my favorite characters in the Wire was Prop Joe, just because I liked the way Prop Joe handled his business. He was a very smart, sage dude. Sort of understood everything. He had the thing locked down from top to bottom. He wasn't afraid to sort of share information with people he trusted and sort of mentor some of these younger kids. And that ended up being the problem. He took Marlo under his wing and mentored him and taught him sort of all the things, how to wash money, taught him about the good connect they had, just sort of taught him about how to be the best businessman. He was already the stone cold killer out there where everyone in the streets was afraid of him.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the business sense that Prop Joe had. So Prop Joe sort of took him under his wing, father figure, and then once Marlo learned everything from him, he didn't need Prop Joe anymore. And so there's a terrible scene in season 5 where he kills Prop Joe just because he's disposable. He doesn't need him anymore. And so I feel like, to me, that looks a lot like Jose Abreu mentoring Yohan Moncada. And Jose Abreu is eventually going to be gone. And, like, he'll probably be gone after this year. I agree with Treasy. And it'll feel like it's too soon. Like, it feels like Jose Abreu has another contract in him with the White Sox. And then he fades away like the last year Paul Konerko was here. Yeah. Paul Konerko was horrible, right? It was time for him to go. Yeah. Jose Abreu will probably go to another team and be good for a while. And so that's why it'll feel similar to like this felt, where this was unnecessary. He didn't have to go yet, sort of thing. So that's mine.
I didn't know we were tying this back to the Sox.
I specifically
because
did.
I'm going to have trouble with mine because mine is Vito from The Sopranos.
Oh, yes.
And, like, the reason that I didn't like him getting killed off is because, like, he was basically the top earner of the crew, right? He was like where all the money came from the crew. Like, shit falls apart after he's gone, right?
That's right.
And, like, he gets whacked out just because he likes to suck a dick every now and then. You know?
That is why he got whacked out.
That's who I was gonna say. Too.
Was that yours?
Oh, I wrote down Big Pussy, but I meant Vito because I was like, he's finally living his best life with Johnny Cakes.
Yeah,
and then he gets smoked because
it did. But
he came back. That's why he got smoked. I mean, he could have stayed away.
But here's the only way that I connect it to the Sox is that, like, you want that to happen in order to get something fantastic out of it, right?
Right.
And is it Phil Leotardo? Is that the
that's right.
guy? His kill, like, is like one of the most satisfying.
It sure
in
is.
all of The Sopranos.
In anything,
like watching that guy's head get fucking rolled over is so fantastic.
He was such a son of a bitch that it was the most satisfying kill I could ever remember in anything.
Did you have another one? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
that was my backup. So I watched and really enjoyed 6 Feet Under. That was on HBO.
Okay, yeah.
Was it on HBO or was it on Showtime?
That might have been Showtime, but we'll go for it.
Anyway,
we're good with
same
it.
diff. Works, yeah. Same diff. So anyway, if you haven't watched it, whatever. But it's about a family that runs a funeral home. The father dies at the beginning. The father comes back as a ghost. He's got a son that comes home, and then they got the gay son, and then they got the daughter, and they got all this shit going on, right? Well, apparently, they were like poised to go more seasons than what they were going to. So they've gotten canceled in the middle of their run, and they said, okay, well, this is the season ending, and it was the last episode, and they smoked, I would say, 75% of that cast in the last episode. Like, you found out how they all died. And if you want to get me going, on something, you not only do you show all these people that you've kind of grown to love over the 5 or 6 seasons that you've been watching it, but you also play Nirvana's All Apologies, like, while this is all going on. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like this is how he dies. And it wasn't like they're all like majestic deaths. It's like, oh, he got out of the shower and like slipped on on the rug because it was too wet because he didn't caulk the fucking tub right. And then he's down and he's dead. That got me. And it got me because it was an hour and there was literally 17 people died in that hour. So
this is kind of funny because that's how the White Sox could go. Like, you could lose 4 of these guys in one off season because prospects coming up or free agent signings when they're actually ready. They could go in all one shot like that.
The fucking can't miss prospects we got down there, big guy.
A couple of them going to work out. Couple two trees.
So this is, I had another one. And this kind of leads into what you're talking about right now, and it's from Boardwalk Empire. Jimmy Darmody. Mm-hmm. Like, they built the show, the whole first season acts like this show's about this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Right? They don't. You feel like it's kind of about Buscemi, right? Like, about his character.
Yeah.
But you really feel it. Yeah, Nucky. But you really feel like this kid is what the show's going to be about. And they fucking kill him. Or like in the first season, right? But the show then shifts in like a really great way and becomes like this fantastic show. And then it all circles back around in the end, and like the death is so fucking important to how the season, like how the series ends, right? And so I'm thinking about that, and I'm just like, one of these fucking guys that we really like is not going to pan out. Like, imagine Yoan Moncada just not becoming a guy.
Oh yeah,
and you got to whack him out.
It's gonna happen.
And then someone takes his place, and they're really good after that. Like that shit. Like Giolito was a guy last year, going into last year, I thought was going to be really good, and that's a guy that could be out this year, right? If a couple moves happen, like he could be out.
Well, or they could repurpose him. You know,
right?
He might not be the
right.
dining room sink. You know, but he could be repurposed into the basement,
right? Like
as like a shop.
Like,
sink.
and I think that's
if he's like a swing man, that's even the same, right? That's the same as whacking him out, right? But like, I
still
agree.
But
you gotta make that call. You got to make that call.
But do you want to be that guy? I mean, like now, from like a Lucas Giolito standpoint, right? Do you want to be the guy that was the guy, and then now you're not the guy, and you're like backing up the guy?
There's a shitload of those guys in the major leagues, and they're getting.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, no. But I think I would rather go to another team and to be the guy backing up the guy.
But there's not.
I don't want to be motherfucked like Philip Umber was when he went from starting pitcher throwing a perfect game down to mid reliever to closer. And like you said it, Teresi, like that season, has there ever been a starting pitcher that's, had so much success early and then is a fucking reliever by the end of the season?
Gone,
he just lost everything he
was the
had.
one man. It was just like, when we're getting crushed, you can come in. Like, that was it.
But that's the thing. Like, where's Phil Umber?
Right? Who knows?
He's out of baseball.
Like, so you take the swingman job over being not in baseball.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chris Sale got him whacked.
But you're going to see it. But you're going to see
no matter how fucking handsome the guy is, he's got to pitch, So
that's
like,
true.
See
it's true. Yeah, no, motherfucker.
I think you'll 100% see that. Treasy, just to go back to your first one, I'm always fascinated with the organized crime, how some of the guys are like these violent dudes and like that's their role. And then some of these other guys they got to think up all the schemes. And so like Vito was into the construction and so he had to think up all these fucking schemes. And Tony was good at both, which is why he rose to power, right? He was good at thinking up schemes of all sorts and figuring out ways to extract money from people. And he also will fuck some people up. So it's interesting to it's like when you have the more broader skills you have, it's just like any business. The easier you can rise up because you understand sort of everything.
Yeah.
But jack of all trades can make a lot of money though.
Oh yeah.
The Stone Cold Killer could be super valuable, and so could the Earner guy be super valuable.
I just like thought about Tony curb stomping that guy, and I just kind of
yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a
that
good
guy was
one.
way on the line actually.
Yeah, I mean he was.
He's like he didn't get killed for that shit.
I think I'd rather get killed.
I need to rewatch The Sopranos.
You should. I've rewatched it like 4 times. It's good when you go back through it again.
I need to watch it again. Yeah. I listened to the Sam and Jim show, the Sam Roberts and Jim Norton on Sirius when Stern is taking breaks, and he was talking about he just rewatched The Sopranos too, and Sam did, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I need to rewatch that, to see how it goes. But I also need to watch The Wire. So
you need to get into The Wire.
I'm only in the second season of The Wire, and it's been a while. So
Treasy and I are both season 2 Wire guys. That's probably our favorite season.
Yeah,
right?
I love season 2.
A lot of people like season 4. That's with the schools.
Okay,
that's there's parts of that are tough to watch because of the shit you see going on in the schools, and you just sort of know like this shit really happens, and it makes you sad. The docs are a little more, in my opinion, they're a little more fun, and I can relate to. I feel like I know guys who are those guys.
Yeah, who did The Wire? Is it David Price?
The pitcher, David Price?
No. Isn't he? Who's the guy that did it?
I forget the
Simon?
guy's name. Yeah.
Is he the same one that does the Deuce then now?
Yeah, that's him.
Because they had like the same music and stuff, like the same kind of the feel. So that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's.
I love the Deuce. Deuce is good.
Really,
I gotta check it out. I haven't gotten into it.
I like it.
I watched it. Yeah, I love prostitutes, so I'm thinking I'd probably put pornography,
There's
right?
some titties.
So,
There's some dick, full on dick.
Oh wow,
ladies.
There we go.
Little Game of
Now I'm
Thrones
sold.
shit.
Now I'm sold.
Yep.
Full bacon.
Full on dick might
Full
be the
on
name of this
bacon.
podcast. You just never know.
All right. The White Sox actually made,
Oh, we're going to talk about White Sox.
shit.
Yes.
White Sox made a trade.
We're only an hour in.
Traded for Yonder Alonso,
Yes.
who happens to play the same position as Jose Abreu.
I know that.
But let's start with
guy,
let's start with who we traded. So we traded Alex Call.
Yes, we did.
From everything I've heard, he's a very nice guy. Seems like a really good kid. He's had some injuries. He's like 23 and still in single A. And
Just popped up to double A at the end of the year.
Yeah, we got a very crowded outfield already in the minors.
Prospects.
I mean, like, this is fine. Like,
Yep.
That's the guy that was the most expendable guy, and that's kind of, I think, what they were looking to trade to Cleveland for this, and say we'll take some of that money that you don't want to spend.
From what I saw out there, you see well, first off, when I was writing up what I was going to talk about for the Alex Call portion, I thought he was Jameson Fisher. Because Jameson Fisher has that fucking awesome Super Troopers mustache. And I was like, oh yeah, they traded the Super Troopers mustache guy. And I'm like, and I'm looking at pictures, I'm like, this guy's got a baby face, man. And I'm like, oh fuck, like I got the wrong guy, you know? So it shows how much we know about prospects to go with. So I took a look at so like the future Sox and people that are in with the White Sox connected prospect people are all like, he's better than you think type guys. And then when I looked sort of more at the national guys like Eric Longenhagen from Fangraphs, they're basically like, well, this is a salary dump, but Cleveland's trying to collect a bunch of these sort of a little bit older, about double A ready corner outfield guys, and hoping and praying one of them pops. Because they have a need.
They're by lottery.
They're like, if the guy gets this far, here's the thing. You get to double A, if you somehow get it, and you start hitting a bunch, you're in the majors. Like, that's it. So, like, it's not that big of a step to go straight from double A. Like, if you torch double A for 2 months, and then they'll be in Cleveland. So, like, they're just trying to assemble a bunch of those guys and hope they hit one of them because they didn't want to pay for Michael Brantley, basically. I mean, that's the Alex Call portion, you know.
My Sox Summer, do you know who Alex Call is?
I do not.
All right,
So,
good. Everyone drink.
drink.
Everyone drink.
And
I'm going to drink
actually,
some tasty Colt 45.
This is not tasty.
Whoever else you mentioned that you thought that this guy was, I didn't know him either. So let's
Jameson
have a
Fisher.
drink. Yes.
Yeah. They were both sort of the college good hitter corner outfield types that haven't turned into much.
Like, I think you should drink, like, people should drink twice because I know who Jameson Fisher is, but when we got Jameson Fisher and I heard about him, I don't know why, but I totally thought he's black. Thought he's a black guy.
Oh, I know why, because the Bulls drafted that guy, James on Curry.
James on. If they would have said his name was James on, I would have definitely, but like...
Yeah.
Because then I would have made that connection. But I don't know why. I don't know why I thought he was a black guy.
Okay, so
it's much like when you thought Jimmy Rollins was a white guy.
I did think Jimmy Rollins was white.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I picked him, so I was getting my first fantasy baseball draft.
Jimmy Rollins doesn't sound white at all.
At that time, I wasn't paying as much
It's only
attention
because you know who Jimmy Rollins is.
That's true.
to baseball in general. And so I got in this fantasy draft. I'm like, I want to start upping my like national baseball, like paying attention. I pay attention to Sox.
Was that one of your like New Year's resolutions?
resolutions? Yeah,
It was a New Year revolution.
You know what?
Spit it out, motherfucker. It's the yeah, it must be the Colt 45.
It's definitely the Colt 45. That's why I started 45.
I didn't know he was a brother. And then I thought he's a white dude. And then I'm watching like baseball tonight, like in the first week of the season. I'm like, oh shit, man, that's my guy right there. He had braids and shit. That was back before he cut it all down and won MVP. Like he was wild and out there.
I'm with you. Like I mean, like back before there was like just like constant like go find people on the internet and like look these guys up. And we were doing fantasy baseball. You didn't know a lot of these guys. You're like looking at stats. You're not doing much else.
It's true.
And like I definitely thought Kelly Johnson was a black guy. And he's not. He's like the whitest guy you can come up with.
There's no question. Couple things.
But now that we're done with our race relations segment of the
couple things on Yonder Alonso. To
be a quiz.
me, he's sort of redundant with Palka.
yeah.
He's redundant with Palka because Yonder Alonso doesn't hit left-handed pitching, and neither does Palka. So there's two guys that you sort of have to not have in the lineup when you face a lefty. You got to have a pair to offset them, right? Also, The thing that scared me the most about Yonder Alonso after I know of Yonder Alonso because he was a top draft pick at one point by San Diego. Or no, top draft pick by Cincinnati. Then ended up in San Diego for a while. The thing that scared me, though, is he didn't have his breakout until he was 30 years old. And he's playing for the fucking A's. And the A's couldn't wait to trade this motherfucker when he started hitting well.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't wait to get rid of him. To me, those are like red flags, okay?
Okay.
And then last, if you look at his 2018 slash line, his average on-base percentage slugging, it looks exactly the fucking same as Matt Davidson's. So why would you pay this guy $8 million when you could have got Matt Davidson for $2 million?
Yeah. You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Well, we all know why we did that.
Why did we do it?
Why did we do it?
I don't know.
Who's he related to?
See, so this
How
is...
are we gonna hit? Listen, how are you gonna hit the punani unless you don't bring in some things that the punani likes?
It's true.
And so
Okay?
that's-
If you want to get in on that shit, you gotta make the clubhouse a little nice.
That's right.
Right? You can't just get in there and just be like, "Yo, I'm here. Let's do this."
You can't just ram and jam.
Not right away.
You gotta set the mood,
right?
baby.
You need to take. You gotta light some candles.
That's right.
You gotta
Get the incense
put out a couple bucks, right? You gotta go out there. You gotta show a guy to town, right?
You gotta play a little Luther.
It's
Al Green.
so if you don't know what My Sox Summer's talking about here, Yonder Alonso is the brother-in-law of one Manny Machado, right? So this is a
Manchada.
this is a perk. This is a perk that they're trying to persuade
Right.
Manny to come with. We've got your brother-in-law here, man. It'd be like a whole family reunion deal you got going on.
guys
It'd
could
be
share
great.
a
You
place.
all live in Chicago together.
Yeah.
It'd be great. And then, so we started thinking about it, man. And I'm thinking, what are the other perks
Like
that
weird
they're
perks.
trying to use that are like kind of a little outside the box that they're giving to Machado and Harper? So My Sox Summer, kick off what you think maybe is one.
You gotta gain an edge, right? You gotta gain.
That's
an
what
edge.
this is about.
And
You're right.
You have to think like you just said, outside the box here. You can't just be like, oh, we're gonna give you more money. Oh, we're gonna give you a nice parking spot. Oh, we're gonna wash your car. First thing that Jerry offered to these guys is what I've been hearing. This is all I've been hearing. Okay.
From our sources.
From our sources, both the Manny and Bryce, he said, whichever one of them signs first, he has promised to add them to his Costco business membership. And
yes.
now, everyone's like, what does that mean? Like, that's not a big perk. You know what's a big perk about it? You can only add one guy per year on there for free.
Oh, wow.
You know how
That's
closely Jerry considers people's applications to be on his Costco business
imagine.
membership? Very fucking closely.
I don't even know
That's
who
some
was
cheap
on
gas.
that.
That's some cheap gas.
You don't
no
want to
question.
spend $30.
There's no question.
He wants to keep that $30.
I agree.
You can buy 2 hot dogs at a stadium and a couple beers.
Beef loaf, what you got?
I don't know if you guys knew that. Well, before I get into that, did you guys notice, like, when you saw videos from the winter meetings? Well, first of all, it was key that the White Sox front office and their brass, they were there the entire fucking time. Right?
Yeah.
But did you see Kenny Williams? Okay, Kenny Williams used to be the fit, like, tough guy, and he'd roll up in the golf cart, and he's like ready to kick some ass and talk some shit. He looked like fucking George Wallace at the meetings. George Wallace, like chubby and jovial and like telling jokes and shit. Like,
So,
They tell Taco Bell
he
jokes.
totally did. I was like, I saw him on camera, and I'm like, he's chuckles, like what the heck is going
because
on here?
Kenny used to say that he'd never watched the game, right? He'd watch it on TV and he would just be on the treadmill the entire time.
That was a Billy Bean thing too.
Yeah.
I don't know if that.
So we
ex-player thing.
haven't played a game in a while. So maybe he chubs up, while there's no game.
Slims down.
And then he slims down during
Chubs
the
up.
Yeah, chubs up.
What I had actually heard though, this was for Harper. I had heard that Jerry and Scott Boras had gotten together, played a little pinochle, and Jerry was letting them win the entire time.
Oh, shit. I could believe it.
They don't have a lot in common, but their love of pinochle.
Yes.
So what I heard was, they made the Narvaez trade, and a lot of people were like, why not move Wellington Castillo? Wellington Castillo is the kind of guy you could get a little bit for, and what I'm hearing is that they kept Wellington Castillo with the team because if they're going to sign these guys to like a long-term contract,
Right.
they need a guy on the team that could get them on a supplement regimen.
Apparently he has a good
extend
supplement.
their careers.
Yes.
And apparently he has a great supplement
He's got a
connection.
hookup.
He's got
Rumor
to
has it.
connect.
Rumor has it.
So he's going to be working on that front for them.
I've also heard from my sources that Yomer was tendered just because Manny and his brother-in-law could ogle his wife. And I don't know if you guys know, but she's knocked up. She's preggers.
Oh.
And you know how that goes with the ladies, right? There's some guys that are into that, and I think Manny is one of those guys.
Oh, shit.
That could be true.
Oh, shit.
They're going to have to stand in line, though. Aloha, Mr. Hand likes to ogle.
Oh, yes,
There's
he
no
does.
I'm not sure if you guys heard this. There was a big hubbubaloo about Jim Tomei meeting with Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
But not a lot of details squirted out of that meeting. One detail that I heard is that Jim Tomei gave Bryce Harper the entire collection of his wife Andrea's novels.
Oh, yes.
Free of charge, completely free. He was able to read them all.
And they were autographed.
So I think this is only if she doesn't become mayor. But Shy Party Ant is on retainer with the White Sox now.
What?
For discreet pre and post game hand stuff.
Over the pants or under the pants?
That, you know what? They're not telling you.
Okay.
They're not
I
telling
actually,
you.
I actually
Okay.
saw her on Twitter say to seal the deal for Machado, she would give a Dominican handshake. Which I don't know what that is yet. I might have to get.
I think
figure that out.
I think I just told you.
Now, I've also heard that they were both promised if whatever one decides to sign here, or if both sign in here, they have unlimited Ron Kittle autographed bobbleheads. They can have as many as they want. Ron will sit there and sign it for you and give it right to you. He might even personalize it.
So you look at Manny Machado, and you kind of look and you go like, I remember Miguel Cabrera once looked like that. But Miguel Cabrera has gotten girthy over the years.
Yes, he has.
He's filled out.
Yoan Moncada has volunteered to be Manny Machado's body double when he gets to the girthy years. So, like, if there's going to be like the body issue of like ESPN the magazine or whatever the fuck it is, it will be Yoan's body with Manny's head.
I love it.
The real Manchado.
All right, there's two things. I'm gonna bundle these two. I skipped one. Hold on. I'm gonna do the other one first. Then I'm gonna bundle two. They were gonna give Manny or Bryce 4 MVP upgrades to Sox Fest.
Oh, yeah,
They
shit.
signed. Okay, the MVP, which means you get a special pass and you get to cut the line 3 times. Okay.
All right. So they could cut the line and get that Kopech autograph.
They could.
Okay.
If Kopech is signing during the designated times that you can use those coupons.
Oh,
There's
okay.
the rub.
Okay.
So, like, a couple years ago, like, Frank Thomas was signing the same time as Jim Tomei. So you got to pick which one you want to do.
Yeah.
Because one time Frank Thomas had to sign for 3.5 hours just to people with their MVP pass.
Oh, shit.
It was great. So you can't just cut everybody. You have to use it as special things. But they're going to give them the upgrades. But they have to still purchase their own room and regular tickets to get in. They're not giving that shit away.
That's smart of Jerry to do that. It's a moneymaker for them.
You got more?
Sex Fest.
Okay.
So Urlacher and Frank Thomas have worked out deals with Nugenics and Restore.
Nice.
So that as these guys age, as they get into those mid-30s years of this contract, they can continue to have fantastic hair and monster boners. Or
Is that what eugenics is?
yeah,
I didn't know it was a boner pill.
what do you think it is?
Why is he talking to women at like a coffee shop about it?
Why do you think he's
Why do you think
saying?
he's talking to women at a coffee shop about it?
Well, I'm not going to get into the demographics of this commercial, but it's like, okay, all right.
Why do you think he says that creepy shit at the end about they'll love it too?
Oh.
I must say that's an important one because hair and performance are 2 of the most important things for an aging man.
And I'll say that I said monster boners because that's what I had in my mind.
Yeah.
But I want to use the My Sock Summer Major Rager.
You whiffed it the first time.
No. I totally wanted to bring this up separately.
Major Rager. That is going to be hashtag. That is my property. If you fucks try to use it, don't fucking even think about it. All right. So I got a couple things. I'm going to bundle these two together because I got a few more. 15% of their salaries are going to be paid in Comiskey cash. And you know why? Because you can't trace it. Okay,
right.
It's tax
untaxable.
So yeah, they're just going to be
like Bitcoin.
So they're going to you're going to see numbers come out for their contracts, but add 15% because that's actually Comiskey cash. But this is how the Sox get you. Okay,
you have the financial advisor get the 15%. You have to sense it though.
You got to spend that in house. Or there's going to be some guy. One of these guys will have their guy out there trying to sell Comiskey cash for pennies on the dollar. He's like, somebody buy this damn shit. I don't even need this much money to buy dollar hot. Not to be outdone, Shy Sox Bar and Grill are going to give them a ton of 50% off appetizer coupons for their friends and family.
Are they going to keep the kitchen open late enough to...
Neither one of them will ever use them. It will just be their families and friends. It will be something that they give away. So, okay, here I got a couple more. All right. And this is the big one. This is the biggest one of them all. Okay? Everyone listen. Early in the talks, both Manny and Bryce asked that Avisail Garcia be non-tendered so he wouldn't be tempted to fuck either of their significant others. Okay? That was something that was like a no-go clause. We would not even have talked with these two people if this was not taken care of. Okay?
Rickon did it again. That's all I gotta say.
We know what happened in Detroit. And I actually saw this. Allegedly. I saw this on Facebook. And somebody said, well, you know what he did in Detroit, right? He's lucky he didn't get killed. And I was like, hold on a second. Who's the one that got hurt out of that whole exchange? It wasn't Avi.
Nope.
It was Miggy.
Okay?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Miggy's shoulder got all fucked up.
Yeah. So don't be... And to whoever the random person was on Facebook, because I don't even remember, don't be saying... You probably don't listen to our podcast anyway. But don't be saying that Avi couldn't have taken care of business if he needed to take care of business. You know, I'm just saying, he didn't get hurt. He came right over to us and was playing right away.
And then Mickey got all depressed and ate so much carnitas that he got it's fucking gigantic.
But how can you not eat carnitas?
All right? Hey, he can't. He can't stop.
True.
He was barely able to stop drinking scotch all the time.
It doesn't require depression to want to eat carnitas. I know that for sure.
So what do we got next, Beeflo?
We have the James McCann signing.
Oh.
Treasy, would you like to start off on discussing James McCann signing?
I would love to talk about the James McCann signing because I fucking hate this signing. I didn't like it when I saw it. I thought, yeah, this is a shitty catcher. Why are we signing this guy? And then I liked it even less when I saw what Wilson Ramos signed for. Because Wilson Ramos signed for, was it 2 years and $19 million?
That's correct. And there's a team option for $8 million more.
Yeah, spend a little fucking more money and get a legit catcher. Instead, you're getting James McCann, a guy who sucked for a team that sucked worse than you in your division. It's fucking unbelievable.
I totally agree with you. Well, I'm sort of wondering about the catcher position because it's becoming like kicker in fantasy football or even running back in real football, where teams either have a really good version of it or they just completely fucking punt it. They just say, whoever off the streets can manage this thing, just come on in. I'm wondering if the White Sox have some model. They probably don't. But I'm wondering if they have some model in there that shows them that, catchers age ridiculously after a certain, after they get to 31 or something like that, which Wilson Ramos is.
Yeah.
And Asmani Grandal's 30 or whatever. Because all the stat nerds out there are, going crazy about the fact that the White Sox aren't signing any of these guys. And then they signed this stopgap here. Now, I know they have prospects coming. I think they sort of believe in the prospects.
Whoa.
But this was a total punt. This was we'll just sign a guy who can do one thing good, which is what a lot of teams are doing. A lot of teams are signing a catcher who has one skill and to be the backup, and that's it. They're not worrying about it.
Here's the thing, though.
The Phil Jackson model.
Yeah, basically.
You're saying, they might
bench player.
They might have this model about these catchers. They age poorly. You just traded your young catcher that was hitting.
You did.
That's different.
But we
That's different.
we still have young catchers we have prospects.
That's correct. That's different, Treasy. I think they didn't think Narvaez is really a catcher. And I think Seattle's going to find out he's not really a catcher.
That's very possible. I don't think they think their prospects are catchers either, by the way. Because they definitely said that they're going to start. They're going to do some. Are you giving me a fucking old English?
I love it. I love it. All of you can't see this yet. If you watch the YouTube show afterwards, you'll be able to see the beers that Mike Stock Summer is providing for us. We're drinking nothing but malt liquor right now. This might become a holiday tradition. We talked about the Christmas traditions earlier. This might become our new Christmas tradition of drinking nothing but malt liquor during the show.
Right next to the Colt 45 was the 4-pack of Old English 800s. Okay, another 16-ounce tall boy, $347 for 4 of them. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and like you guys know me, and you guys all know me out there. I first pulled out the 19.2 ounce Founders All Day IPAs, but they were $2 a piece. Okay, so I got 3 of them, and then I was gonna get the Stone IPAs, but they wanted $3 a piece for those. And then I walked down the aisle and I saw the Old English and the Colt 45s for $8 for 8 of them, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, we're getting down on that shit," because I thought it would be funny.
It's a value buy. That's what it is.
So I totally lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, dude. I really fucked it up.
But what I want to know
is,
do you know who James McCann is?
So, yes, I do, actually. I think it's a great pickup, and I honestly didn't know that he had a lot left in his tank to play professional baseball. But any guy that was in The Godfather is welcome with open arms, even though that Sonny was a hothead and kind of a dickhead. Like,
He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy.
I think he's going to be okay, right? So, I never saw him in Misery. I heard it was really good.
It is really
but,
good.
He was good. He was also the dad in Elf, kind of a dick.
Yeah,
you know, and he's kind of a slut, too, because he's fucking some, like, elf chick, you know? Who knows? But, so I think it's a great pickup.
He's got, like, a 30-year-old kid, and then he has, like, an 8-year-old, 12-year-old kid or whatever.
Guy likes to fuck, man. What's wrong with
Hey,
you know?
He's a slut, man.
Most people do.
I mean,
straight whore.
And it's, especially in The Godfather, you know, they talk about his salchicha. He had the
Salchicha
de terror.
Whoa,
You know? So, but that's not who that is. Oh, but anyways.
So what?
So take a
Not
drink.
James Caan.
Take a drink of your delicious
Let me
English
do this,
800.
Teresi, I've got one theory right now about the current free agent market. I want to run it by you.
That's not a
terrible theory. Oh, go ahead.
We're looking at. We saw Patrick Corbin's the only like really big name signed so far, and then we're sort of seeing a middle group, and the middle group looks all cheap to me. What about you? They look sort of like Brantley, 2-32, and Wilson Ramos, and all this. They look kind of cheap, right? And then you got the guys at the bottom, like the James McCann for $2.5 million for 1 year. Then I saw Daniel Descalso, and I know all the. I was reading something on Fangraphs. All the stupid stat nerds are like enthralled because the swing change, and he had like half a good year last year, but 2 years and $5 million is a big overpay for him. I think that the people at the bottom are getting way fucking overpaid in this free agent market. These guys are lousy. Like, how little could you pay to get a mediocre, a terrible at everything and good at one skill catcher? It should be less than $2.5 million.
Yes. And you know what? I need to look up right now while we're sitting here talking about this.
I just don't get why the bottom of the market is sort of getting a lot more than you would think it would. They should be hovering around $1 million. They should be like, you know, the glorified AAA player. You know, that if they get stuck at AAA, they get $300,000, but if they in the majors, they get $1 million sort of thing. Like, I sort of don't get why these guys are getting a premium right now, especially at Descalso. It's like, if the Cubs signed him, it's like, you have Ian Happ already. Like, you have guys, you have David Bodie. You have other utility guys who can't play shortstop. What the fuck? Why do you need that guy, you know?
And I looked it up. Descalso is under 6 foot. So there's no reason to pay a utility guy under 6 foot that kind of money.
Anything.
That's just insane.
You give him league man. That's it.
So what you could do now, if you're the Cubs, after you trade if you got Descalso, is trade David Bodie.
Yes.
Which should net you absolutely nothing. Like that. I mean, if they get something out of that trade, I'm going to just be upset.
Thing is, some sneaky fucking team like the Rays or the A's or whatever will take him, and they'll use him for 200 plate appearances of his best opportunities, and they'll get a ton out of it.
But the thing is, too, that you've got to look at what the Cubs got going on there and say, like, they need someone to play like shortstop or second base. And
yes,
and so for 40 games. right?
At least.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're not getting rid of him. They're not getting rid of Russell.
They should get rid of that piece of shit. I think we all know it.
They should.
Fuck Addison Russell. They should get rid of that piece of shit and everyone knows it.
But their mouthpiece, fucking Phil Rogers, is out there going, no. Look,
Phil
Rogers.
Why
is he writing for Forbes? By the way,
right for Forbes. Like,
they're like, we need a sports writer. Let's find the stupidest fuck we could find.
Tracy, you and I both read a lot of stuff out there. A lot of baseball stuff. I mean, he's in the bottom 10% of anything I read.
I hate Phil Rogers.
He's horrible.
I think, I don't hate him personally.
I don't hate him.
He might be a nice guy.
His work sucks.
But everything I've ever read from him is just the stupidest fucking drivel that I've ever seen.
Straight garbage.
It is. It's just awful. Guy doesn't know what the fuck's going on. No. And the fact that he was using, like, defensive runs saved in his article was just like, dude, you don't look at this shit. There's no fucking way
you
you
learned that
actually
yesterday.
Like someone helped you with this because the first thing you said was that in the games that this guy played, they won more game than in games that he didn't play, right. Which has no fucking statistical meaning to it. It's just a random distribution of like, this guy was there when they landed on the moon, so he must have been integral to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Phil's an older guy, right?
Yeah, he's 622.
Yeah.
Yeah, so age doesn't matter. Like Bill James is hip to everything. Like you can be an old guy and know shit.
No. There's a certain beef. There is a certain person that adapts to technology. Okay,
sure.
But like I think some of these old sports writers are like the same guys. There was like when MP3s were like coming up and like they were like, you know what we're gonna do with CDs? We're gonna raise the fucking price. So like that's gonna totally thwart you from going to steal music or like adapting to a new format. So I think that it's kind of like an old school like type mentality. It's like, fuck you, I'm still gonna write my same bullshit. Like today, I was looking on the Facebook and like we'd heard early, that Machado's or not Machado, woo, Manny's fucking visit was only 90 minutes in New York, right?
Yep.
And it wasn't on Facebook. Like even 2 hours later, perusing, some of the Sox fan sites. It's like that's how far advanced like Twitter is versus Facebook, And it seems like a lot of stuff that's on the Facebook, like this gets, I don't know. It's just a lot of old shit. Like the new shit. Well, that's definitely with the twits.
That's part of the problem, right? Like it's like Phil Rogers and I'm gonna throw Forbes under the bus on this too. That the fucking article he put out today should have never been released. It was released after all the shit came out from Addison's ex, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that shit came out, and then like hours later, they're like, seems like a good time to post this one.
not to mention, people on Twitter noted Phil Rogers initially tweeted the article, and then it got a terrible response, and he fucking doubled down.
Yeah, who sent that to us? White Sox Sal?
Yeah.
They was
like he could have just got out of the way and realized, all right, this is a loser.
Well, he wrote in his tweet, like, that was obviously bad timing.
Yeah.
Like, he could have said at that point,
just end there.
As said in the article, if he doesn't have any more regressions.
He did, and so I don't believe that anymore.
And so, like, if he would have agreed to that and been like, he's had another one, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But no, he's like, I still believe this. But you don't. You don't even believe what you fucking wrote because you see what he did.
Right.
And so it's just stupidness.
I don't want this whole thing to be us. I want it to be us shitting on Addison Russell, but I don't want it to be
I don't want to talk about him either.
But I don't want it to be us shitting on
shit.
Old sports writers because
I don't think that's
part of the whole writing gig is telling a story. And if you're good at telling a story and making people laugh, you don't have to be hip to launch angles and know everything about StatCast. You can know a moderate amount and tell a great story and get the point across. So you don't have to be every writer from Fangraphs that doesn't always tell a good story, but just puts a bunch of tables and graphs in there that even for a finance guy like me, my eyes gloss over. It's like, I would like to be entertained a little bit at least. Like, at least try,
But let me just throw this out. If you are telling a bad story and you're backing it up poorly with statistics, you should be shit on.
Yes.
You should be shit on by many pigeons.
You should be open to criticism, for sure.
So, You mentioned in a second ago the Manny Machado visit to New York.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Manny Machado visit to Chicago.
Ooh!
Yes, let's talk about it.
So that was people were fucking pumped up about this. Motherfuckers showed up at the park. I mean, it's impossible showed up at the park.
He was going back door. He was back door in the park.
Hey, that's how you got to do it sometimes.
It looked like he was taking a shot from Wentworth.
Okay.
When he was doing
That's a dangerous shot.
Yeah.
That is because exactly. That street loads onto the expressway, so you gotta kind of be careful when you're over there taking a shot.
You don't want to hang out over there.
Yeah, that's more where I was.
Not that like.
I'm not worried about my.
I used to walk my daughter over there. The only one that we almost had was that I was almost like just eaten alive by a no that would have been okay. I almost was eaten alive by a pit bull. Walking by the guys that live in the housing area behind Sox Park.
That's a fucking.
And the guy did not have him on a leash. And then later I see a guy that comes over and he's like, "Were you the guy that was walking your daughter?" And they had the dog coming over and I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Man, I felt really bad for you." And I was like, as a new father, because Little Miss Shortstop was probably 5 months, I was like, I'm ready to fucking kill this motherfucking dog. If he gets close, I'm kicking this motherfucker in the face, and I'm gonna like beat the shit out of this dog, right? Like it took over. It was an animal instinct that like something that like I just didn't even know that I had in me. But I was like, I'm gonna murder this motherfucker.
I hope Michael Vick is listening to the pod so that we can set up my Sox summer first dog fight.
Listen, no. I'm available for training.
Tracy, but you're right. Sim Possible was out there taking a few shots. Bruce Levine had the first shot that I saw on Twitter, actually of Manny, but he was like 300 yards away. It was like impossible. You could tell there were people, but you had no clue who the fuck they were. He could have taken a picture of anything.
I didn't know what he took a picture of.
Where are you? Like, I'm like 35th Street, like to the where they were at. That's not that far.
You could walk to the box office. For Christ's sake, it took a picture.
Was he like perched at my house or whatever? Like, how far away was this?
He was a little distracted. He was petting a pit bull that he had found on the street. So
don't make fun.
I'm not making fun.
He can kill that dog. An actual pit bull. Not a pit bull.
It sounds like White Sox Dave and Ken WO met up there and squashed their beef, which
it does sound like.
I think we need to like reignite their beef. Like White Sox Twitter's not okay if those two are getting along. So we need to.
They can't be copacetic. And they squashed it over Zach Greinke.
Yeah,
they both believe the White Sox should trade for Zach Greinke.
I saw that.
So that's
I did see that. Oh, that's hilarious.
I can't even imagine what a Zach Greinke trade would look like for the Sox.
I would love it. I think it mostly like it depends. If the Diamondbacks are willing to eat some salary, you'd have to give some real guys.
Yeah,
because Greinke's still really good right now.
Yeah, or
if you took on the whole salary, you'd probably still have to give one guy that you probably don't want to give up, but you'd be okay with it. Maybe like Micker Adolfo or somebody.
Yeah.
So like a good guy, like someone that you see in majors.
So you think it would just be a prospect? It's not going to be an established talent?
No, they don't want that.
They don't want it because they're tearing it down.
They're tearing it down. So they're like, "Hey, we're going to give this away. Just like pay for it."
If
it's like a guy like defaulting on his lease of his car,
although they
like pay the lease.
I think the fact
but they might pay for some of it. So if they pay for some of it, then they're going to want a guy. They're going to want
the fact that they
Madrigal or somebody.
The fact that they got Luke Weaver and was it Carson Kelly for Goldschmidt makes me think that they'd want a guy who's like AA or AAA at least. They want someone close. They're trying to do more what the Mariners are trying to do, where they're getting a lot of guys that are pretty close, and so that they could return to contention pretty quickly. And so I think that's kind of along the lines of what they'd want. So I don't think it would be like a Madrigal.
I mean, that's a strong. Well, Madrigal's pretty close.
Yeah, you say that. I fucking don't.
Well, he's pretty close when you think about it this way, Treasy. If you're going to draft a guy next year who's a college-age guy, he's further along than that guy.
Right, yeah.
And so he'll line up nicely with what you're kind of doing.
For sure.
So that would work. So he's not close like he'll be here in August or anything.
Right.
But for a rebuilding team, when he's here late 2020, that works fine. You know, that works okay.
I don't know if you noticed, but I've been reading the Twitters, and Nick Madrigal is starting next year. He is in our starting.
Oh, yeah.
That's what everyone's saying.
Yeah, he's going to come up real fast.
I'll bet against anyone who says that. Just bring it on.
Treasy and I want to get some time with Brian Billick, and we want to press him a little bit on Nick Madrigal.
He went.
Yeah. I don't know why everyone's got such a big hard dick for such a major rager for Madrigal. Like I don't get it. I don't get what they're seeing. I'm not seeing the same thing.
He had a good Saturday night, Brian Billick.
He got out on Twitter and was doing some stuff. And,
I shot him some messages, and I'll bring it up later.
He might have been intoxicated.
So I'm going to cut you off just for a second. So we could stay on track with the Machado thing.
Fuck that. We're getting a motherfucker. We don't need to talk about it.
Ricky met him outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what does this mean about Ricky? Like, is Ricky the long-term guy? Is he the guy that is going to manage this team to a championship?
I think he is, actually. I think Ricky is a big relationship guy. And so you saw... So, like, we can only look at the half of the managing that goes on between 7 and 10 at night during a game. And some of it's a little questionable, the bunting too much, sort of. But some of it's okay, in my opinion. Like, people didn't like the bullpen changes as much. I was okay with it because Ricky knew he didn't have shit. He was trying to win a game. I think Ricky's probably a little better tactically than we think, but we think he's kind of a bad tactical manager.
Yeah.
But my thought is that on the relationship side, he's really fucking good. I don't know if he's Ned Yost good on the relationship side, but that shit's important. And the tactical stuff tends to not be that important until you get to the playoffs. Right. So I think he's the guy for now. If they were trotting him out as the initial guy to, like, you say hi before the front door for Manny, that's a big fucking deal. In my opinion. That means a lot.
I think
that's like he's our leader.
I think it's huge. That's why I brought it up to you guys. It's like, listen, these guys saying that he's not the long-term solution for a manager, and I think that shows that the organization believes in him 100%. It's enough to throw him out there with their Jim Thome, Mr. Cleveland Indian Jim Thome,
absolutely,
and just say, hey, this is this is what's going on. I got a hot tip, from a guy that is another bobblehead collector. And this came out before the Sox Fest lineup came out. He was there. A guy was out there waiting and got a ball autographed by Jim Thome. And then he asked him, hey, you hitting Sox Fest? And he said, yeah. So I was going to bust that tonight. That was my good rumor for tonight. But then the Sox got to scoop me and then put that shit out there. So, like, I don't even have a good scoop. But, yeah, no, I think Ricky is definitely now has become the guy. Like, and I don't think that there's, like, you can argue that.
So I think the Sox do picture him as the long-term guy. I don't think that's why he was there.
What do you think he was there for?
I think he was there
to translate?
To fucking admit to Manny that there's special rules for special players.
That may be the case.
And be like, yeah, you saw me bench motherfuckers last year because they didn't hustle.
Yeah.
But those were the young guys.
Yeah.
That haven't proven themselves.
The guys that eat 200 Twinkies in a week.
And so, but...
Well, that's sort of true, though, because
I'm on board with this. I'm
on
board with this, right? Because here's the thing. You look at...
Drink.
You got to drink on that.
Yeah, I just did.
You look at this shit and you go, like, yeah, you want to teach the young guys to hustle, right? But, like, the guys like Manny Machado, I would take a Manny Machado or a Manny Ramirez over a whole fucking team of David Ecksteins any day of the fucking week.
100%.
Oh, the guy runs, when he gets walked, he runs to first base. What a great guy. What a hustler. Fuck that guy. I don't care about that guy. I'll take a fucking whole field of Manny Ramirez's against a whole field of David Eckstein's.
Right.
Which means I have a Manny playing shortstop.
Yeah.
And I will take that every fucking day of the week because they'll hit 900 home runs against David Eckstein's little pussy arm trying to throw it across home plate.
It's funny that you say pussy because all those little Mannies will have elevated like levels of estrogen in them too. So it's funny that you said pussy.
That's correct. Treasy, did you happen to hear the Red Line Radio guys talking about this?
Mm-mm. I did.
So they had a discussion about this.
I have
funny.
something to add.
The baseball guys, so the non-baseball guys were very like, oh, you got to hustle, blah blah blah. Which are Chief and Eddie, and then you had Dave and Carl like, no, none of that matters. We don't give a shit. you can be out by 3 feet instead of 1 foot. No one cares. Mashed taters, all this shit. That's not how baseball is played. And I thought it was funny because there's two guys who really know a lot about baseball. And when you listen to like their shows back in the day, it was a great baseball show before they sort of made it a big sports show.
Yeah.
If they're telling you that, and other people who know a lot about baseball are telling you that, if you're a fan, you got to realize it doesn't matter that much, okay? Your Little League coach should not be the coach of a Major League team. You look at this team a little differently than how you might look at your kids playing.
Yeah. Well, and a kid could bobble the ball, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean,
the big leaguers most likely aren't.
You're the statistical guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a 7-year-old third baseman is probably not going to throw the ball to first off the one hop
Correct.
or whatever.
That's why running it out matters.
Yes, it matters then, but it does not matter when this guy is at like the 1% of professional athletes in the entire fucking world. Like, that guy's probably going to get out of his mitt and fucking throw your shit out. So just take your time.
And when he boots it or throws it away, that one step won't matter.
Probably not.
Because it's so nonlinear.
And you look at it and you go, okay, look, you see every year there's the announcers going nuts about like a guy trotting because he thinks it's going to be a home run and it hits the top of the wall and he only gets a single.
He's like, woo!
So he only gets a single out of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like Tom and Jerry trying to turn around.
But you forget that this is a team of professional baseball players. It's still the next guy's fucking job to get him in, whether it be hitting a double or a home run or whatever the fuck, right? So like, it doesn't matter that much.
No.
It is so inconsequential that like Ricky does not give a shit about this with a guy like Manny Machado. He does not give a shit about this with Bryce Harper. He doesn't give a shit about it with Jose Abreu. He gives a shit about it with guys who could be a good player but aren't showing that they give a shit. And he's trying to teach them you got to give a shit because the next guy is ready to knock your dick in the dirt.
Yep.
And so that's his lesson, and I get that. That's fine. I'm not big on it. I don't like the rah-rah bullshit. But I get what he's trying to do.
I'm not. No.
But with the Manny Machado, this guy's there. He fucking figured it out. He's knocking 30 home runs, 100 RBI
He's a boss. He's
every
a stud.
fucking year, no matter what.
He hit 5 home runs, I think, was it last year or 2 years ago?
When he was in town just for that one series.
Yeah. He had 5
that one game.
It was just like, every time he got up, bang! Bang!
I think it was his like first 3 at bats he homered, and then we were rooting for him to hit the 4th home run. It was so rare. Like, fuck it, we're getting killed. Who cares?
I think it was 19 to -3 at that point.
I think that's probably right.
So, Beeflo, if I hear that you have some sort of quiz for us.
Okay, so
quiz.
I wanted to start bringing some new content to the show, some different things, and I happened to be looking on Twitter. I think it was on Saturday, and I told Mrs. Beeflo, I'm like, what if I do this for the show? And she thought, that's kind of funny. We'll see if it works. Truth be told, I think it might be horrible, but we're going to try it anyway. So here's the game we're going to play. It's for you and my Sock Summer.
All right.
Yeah.
I am going to give you 2 folks' Twitter personalities.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you guess who has more followers out of the 2 Twitter personalities.
Okay.
We'll keep score. There's no prize for the winner. I just want to see who's better at this thing.
Oh, man. Not even over the pants stuff.
So, are we ready? My Sock Summer, are you ready?
I'm ready. I got my old English.
Teresa E., are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I got a major rager going.
The first pairing is Ariana Grande
Yep.
Okay.
versus Barack Obama.
Oh, I'd say Obama has way more followers.
No. Ariana Grande.
Teresa E. is correct.
Oh.
Barack Obama has 104 million followers. Ariana Grande, 59.5 million followers.
Yeah. I mean, Ariana Grande is just out there trying to kill off, like, celebrities.
Yeah.
She puts every one of her boyfriends in a depression. Some of them end up dying.
That is so sad.
It's fucked up.
It is fucking weird.
It's really sad.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Now
Pete had
of
depression
those
before,
59 million followers, there's a 59 million?
59
that she
million.
has?
She's only fucked 9 million.
Bill Clinton definitely one of those followers.
Or that preacher guy. The preacher guy was the guy that got all up in this shit. So, hey, I got something to add to this real quick. So, Pete Davidson was on Howard Stern.
He's got butthole eyes.
Who's my
from what I hear.
favorite.
The Barstool guys say he has butthole eyes.
Very weird looking guy.
Yes,
right?
he is.
His
Not a
dad
handsome
died
guy.
in 9/11,
Yes, that's
which
correct.
is
Shit, I
another
didn't know
thing
that.
that's just really weird, right?
Where your career died, too.
It's weird because he died and then your career ended that day. It was
So
terrible.
he was on the Stern Show and was talking about Ariana Grande, how like he kept saying over and over, he's like, yeah, I don't know why I'm in this relationship. Like, it's awesome. Why did she chosen me, right? So as soon as he got dumped, Robin, who is the like commentator, news person for the Howard Stern Show.
Everyone knows who Robin Quivers is.
Yeah, okay, I hope so. So not my wife, but so she says.
Wait, Robin Quivers is not your wife?
No, like my wife does not.
I don't believe that.
I don't know who it is. So no, but she goes, yeah, he got dumped because he was up here saying all the reasons that she should break up with him.
That's true.
He's like, I feel so lucky. I don't know how this has happened. I don't know why we're together. Dumped in like 2 weeks after that fucking interview.
That's 100% true. You're in a relationship where you know you're out kicking your coverage. You shut your fucking mouth and act like you belong there. All right?
Yes.
I'm in a marriage like that.
keep
I was gonna
saying
I was going to say, all three guys at this table are in that position.
You just gotta shut
Yeah.
your goddamn mouth.
I've not one time said I cannot believe that I'm married to my wife. I said I am saying she is lucky to have me.
That's right. You
what
gotta
I
reverse
say.
that shit.
I say that shit all the time.
Yeah, they don't believe it.
No, they don't. No one does.
Okay, next
All right, so
grouping.
Treasy's up 1-0.
Treasy's winning 1-0. Next grouping.
This is for Boots, by the way.
Famous
Motherfucker.
directors. Kevin Smith or Jon Favreau.
I'm going to go Favreau because Favreau's got the Disney Star Wars backing. I mean, that shit.
I'm going to go with Smith just because, that's just how I'm going to do it.
Kevin Smith, $3.17 million. Jon Favreau, $1.92 million.
Wow.
All right, tie, bitch.
Well, Kevin Smith is also
Okay.
early in on the podcast game.
Yeah,
so that helps him.
He's got all the, like,
And he almost died, so that helps him.
what's probably,
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
what that shows me is that Kevin Smith has more comic book nerds than Jon Favreau. He's more legit with the comic book nerd crowd.
There's no question.
That's what I'm hearing.
There's no
Even
question
though
about it.
Jon Favreau's fucking Mr. Marvel out there, he brought Iron Man to the.
I love John Favreau, though.
Oh,
He's awesome.
I
don't
love
follow
them
him
both.
on
They're
Twitter.
both great. They're
I love
both
them
great.
both.
I do follow Kevin Smith, but do not follow John.
Yeah, they're
Favreau.
both.
Just because you want to see more pics of him in those jean shorts.
Yes, I love his jorts.
Now we're going to go sports talk personalities.
Oh man,
All right.
is one Jim Rome?
Dan Bernstein or Barstool Big Cat?
Oh, Big Cat's got to be by a mile.
All right, I would also check Big Cat, but I'm gonna go with Bernstein just to get fucking lose this, so Teresi can feel good about himself.
Barstool Big Cat, 672,000 followers. Dan Bernstein, 60,000 followers.
That wasn't even fucking close.
That was not close. The next group are former UNLV basketball players.
That's good. All right, Stacey Augman, bring it on me.
Nope, Greg Anthony or
Okay.
Grandmama himself, Larry Johnson.
So I'm gonna go Greg Anthony because I feel like Greg Anthony has a good business acumen to him that he's probably trying to get followers out there or possibly buying followers.
No way in hell, Grandmama.
Greg Anthony has 211,000 followers. Grandmama has just under 13,000 followers.
Okay, man, fuck that.
Tracy is dominating this so far.
Well, I've been playing opposites, motherfucker. And so
You could choose the same one if you want.
No, I don't want to do that. I wanted to, but I did want Grandmama. You definitely beat me on that one.
That's fine.
That's a legit win on that one.
My sex number, you pick this one first.
Okay.
Former White Sox greats,
Okay.
Frank Thomas or Bo Jackson.
I'm gonna go with Frank Thomas.
I don't think either one of them spends much time trying to up their Twitter game,
Okay.
but I'm gonna say just by sheer volume of people that like him or want to follow him, I'm going to say Bo Jackson has one.
You're fucking right.
Frank Thomas has just under 73,000 followers. Bo Jackson has 145,000 followers. So Bo Jackson is the winner.
God damn. How many questions you got?
I like that you
Just
told
two
us.
left.
So
All right,
Bo
so
Jackson is the
you
winner.
already won.
We couldn't tell which number was higher.
We're in full.
Now we're just going to go odd couples. The last two are odd couples.
All right, let's do it.
Ivan Drago himself. Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren?
It's
Okay.
hilarious that you brought up Dolph Lundgren on Sunday when we were doing Christmas, when I had already picked Dolph Lundgren as one of the people on this list.
I just watched Creed 2, man.
Versus-
Good flick. Go check it out.
The former mayor of New York City, who was gotten in Seinfeld by the low-fat frozen yogurt, Rudy Giuliani.
Go ahead. You go first, motherfucker.
Drago
Drago
or Rudy
Giuliani?
Giuliani.
I gotta go Giuliani just because he's on the news constantly now.
Yeah,
gonna
he's
go
a Trump
Giuliani.
guy.
Giuliani has 210,000 followers, and Ivan Drago, a.k.a. Dolph Lundgren, 221,000.
Wow! 0-0 on that one.
What was that one?
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
last
I'm
one.
also surprised.
These are just odd personalities to begin with. Randy Quaid, who we've been talking about
my
this week, and I wrote a little article about his character.
What a fucking
Or- or-
lunatic.
Or America's favorite voter, Ken Bone.
The sweater guy, right?
The sweater guy, who like he asked the question, he became really famous, and then he was way into porn, and people were like, "Oh, forget that guy."
So here's
but they didn't all forget that guy.
here's the real question. Did Ken Bone lose enough followers to get down to Randy Quaid level? To get
That is a good
down
question.
to Caddyshack 2's finest, Randy Quaid
Major
level.
League 2 finest also.
I'm gonna
Brother
go,
of somebody awesome.
I'm gonna go that he did not, and I'm gonna stick with Ken Bone. Ken Bone for the win.
How about you?
Yeah, Ken Bone is definitely.
All right, Ken Bone crushes him, 185,000 followers to 84,000.
Oh my
That's hilarious
god!
though, because I feel like Ken Bone had 1 million followers.
If there's something to be learned from this, is that we are not that far away from being just as famous as like all these other people. Like, I mean, I'm hearing these numbers
Right now, we have more than half the followers of Larry Johnson, Grandmama. Right?
That's
Grandmama played
insane.
for like 30 years.
Yeah, I'm
He had
gonna
an
guess.
endorsement deal with Converse, for Christ's sake.
I'm gonna guess Grandmama tweets about 1/millionth of how often we tweet.
When I was digging around looking these up, apparently Ditka has a Twitter account.
Uh-huh.
But it only has like 3 tweets, and they're all like adult enhancements shit, and there's like, he only has like 1,500 followers.
I definitely thought you were gonna say that his only tweets were during
All the tweets smell like beef jerky.
They blew up the shitter at Benny's.
Or asking,
What a class act.
asking famous actresses if he could go down on them.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that segment. I'll
shit.
try to come with something new every once in a while, but that was, maybe we'll bring that back in a month or something like that. I hope you enjoyed it.
Just read Ditka's tweets to Ariana Grande. That's all I want. That's all I want to hear.
Listen. I don't know if I could take Ditka killing himself. Okay, I don't know if I. Well, I mean, I could. I probably could.
He spent the last 30 years of sausage eating doing just that. All right, it's time for the overtime question.
Yes.
All
High
right.
Sox Summer, throw it down.
So I'm just going to give you a little background. I saw a lot of stuff on eBay. So I was at the post office. They have this little thing called Santa's Village, and there's all these little areas where you can go over and see some stuff. I had no idea what it was. I happened to be there during the day, and went over and asked some questions. And it basically is kids' letters to Santa. And there's, I'm assuming, underprivileged youth that are looking for gifts and stuff. So we haven't been to church in a while, and usually we take a couple names off the tree at the church, and so we haven't done that. So I was like, well, I'm going to go get 2 girls, letters, and I'm going to buy them what they want, right?
Cool.
So I go over and looking at this thing, and
By the way, that is awesome. You're a way fucking better person than I am. I didn't even know this existed.
So I didn't know it either, and I just we want to give back in some little way, right?
Right.
If it's just a little way. So what I felt was the hardest part was going to all the letters and seeing kids that are, needing something. And I had mixed emotions about it, but a lot of people were asking for tablets, Apple Watches, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I don't.
That's a big ass.
It's not that I don't want to buy you an Apple Watch, but it's like I think you might need something more than just an Apple Watch.
Right.
So I went through the letters and found a couple girls that they wanted coats first, and then asked for pants. And then I was like, all right, I'm down with that. Like, I'm going to do this. And one of the girls did say, I want a coat and a pant. And if you can, a coat and pants. And if you can, maybe a small tablet. And I was like, okay, well, you're going to get 2 out of 3. But I'm not going to do that. So the question is, like, I'm assuming, like, these kids now, like, when I was a kid, like, I mean, when we were kids, we asked for, like, a Nintendo, that kind of stuff. I never got the Nintendo. I got a computer once. I don't know if I even asked for it, but we got a computer. But they're asking for a lot of expensive things, and I don't fault these people. Fault the underprivileged kids like for asking for something because they want to be like their friends. They want to fit into, right? I get it, but so I'm assuming that like when my daughter is about 6, I'm gonna have to buy her a car when she turns, for Christmas because it's just gonna keep jumping the gun, right? But the question is, what is the most expensive gift that you guys got at Christmas? That made you be like, damn, like mom and dad put out some scratch and got me something like really, really nice.
So first, before we get into that, I just want to say like,
I
like the way you did that because it's like someone who's going like, I need a coat and some pants, even if they throw down like, I need a tablet or like throw in a tablet or something or Apple Watch, like. This is someone who legitimately needs this fucking gift, right? Yeah. So like I like that that's where you went, and I'm glad that you did that, and I'm now motivated to like go do that myself. That sounds like a fucking good thing.
Tomorrow's the deadline.
Well,
next year maybe.
But you can still like donate some. I mean, like
I could still donate somewhere else. It's fine. But the present though, the major gift that I remember getting as a kid was, and me and Beefloaf were kids together. So like,
right.
I just remember a Christmas coming up, and I think my parents said like, "Hey, why don't you guys think of something that you both want? Come up with a gift that you would both want." And like everyone we knew had Nintendo already.
Yeah,
right? They had Nintendo for a while. We would go over to Polish with Extra Onion's house, and we would play fucking Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
He even had the power pad.
The power pad.
Oh my god,
funny. Yeah.
Did you ever use it?
Oh yeah, we
used it
saw
all
the
the
fucking
time.
time.
Oh,
We fucking and like
He was a little chunder guy.
we even
He was, but he's still like
He's still on the power pad.
like we immediately learned how to cheat in track and field, where you jump off the pad for the long jump and then you jump back onto it, and it's like, oh, you jumped 7,000 feet. But so we had a bunch of friends that had Nintendo, and we'd go play Nintendo at their houses, and we were like, well, let's do something a little different,
Right.
Me and Beefloaf have always let's do something a little bit different. And so
That's true.
We asked for the Sega Master System, which was like the competitor of Nintendo at the time.
It's the less popular.
This is not Sega Genesis. We're old. This is fucking Sega Master System, the original Sega.
Right.
And our parents, and we had a list of other shit, right? Like it was mostly probably like baseball cards and shit.
Yeah.
And like take us to a Sox game or something, and we got the fucking Sega Master System, and it was like holy shit, this was awesome. And like we played the shit out of that thing. Right?
What were the games that came with the Sega Master System?
Oh man, I don't even remember what came with it.
It's hard to remember what the original game
I
was.
remember there was some shit where you could like it basically remember like that game Snake that's on like your like phones and shit. Like that shit was on the Sega Master System if you put no game in and turned it on. Right, and so, but
I remember the baseball game in Sega being really fun. Like,
yeah, and there was
there was
like some Beastmaster game or something.
Altered Beast.
No, I don't know if it was Altered Beast.
Because Altered Beast was on Genesis.
Okay, yeah, it might have been like the original.
So it was the before
like just,
Altered Beast.
Just regular Beast, I guess.
Yeah.
Did we
It might have been LA Beast.
Reg Beast.
do we play Double Dragon on that?
I don't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what
We're old, man.
But I just remember it like being really badass, and like we fucking loved it. And we played all these games, but it wasn't like now, where like it's like you see a video game come out and you're like, it's on PlayStation and Xbox and Wii. It's like on all the systems.
No.
These were different games. You had all different games, and then Nintendo won that war by like a fucking mile.
Yeah,
right. Did. And so like a lot of the video games are based in that lineage of the Nintendo games. So I am terrible at all video games. Like there's probably some bullshit like Sega game that I'm really good at. Like that the muscle memory will just kick in and I'll just be fucking awesome. but like I've never beaten Super Mario. Like that
I haven't either.
I have.
Like,
I've beaten
you have?
Super Mario, yeah.
Oh, you guy could swim. He must have been on his fucking New Year's resolutions, right?
Yeah.
All right, Beef Love, tell us yours, you prick.
Beat Contra.
Fine. So I'm glad you remembered one because I couldn't remember anything. I was sort of like thinking back and I'm like, well, there was that year that we got Snake Mountain. I thought that was really cool.
That was
like,
dope.
So when you're kids, like you like that Snake Mountain or Castle Grayskull isn't that expensive like what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like $30.
Different, you know?
Yeah.
But if you think about
then, though.
If you think about it inflationary, right? I mean, the money is like 5 times different, right? Than it was back then. So, yeah, that's an expensive gift, you know?
Yeah.
So I was sort of like thinking about this, like, this is more get off my lawn, these kids these days, all this shit. And then I was like, talking to Mrs. Beefloaf, and I'm like, you know, I had a really good year a couple years ago. And I was one of those assholes who I bought my wife's birthday and Christmas are like 2 weeks apart. I'm one of those assholes who bought my wife a car for Christmas. Now I didn't have the big fucking bow on that bullshit or whatever.
Right.
It was like a pre-thought thing or whatever. And she's like, yeah, we do buy big gifts occasionally. You bought me my car for that year.
Yeah.
And she's like, and this year, remember our gift that we're buying each other. And I did remember it. So my wife and I are buying, you know how Peloton is really big right now? We're buying, which is like a bike where it downloads like classes you can do. And like you do live classes.
Yeah, okay.
We're buying the cheaper version of that, which is a NordiTrack version of that sort of same bike. So we do big gifts now. So like when I was a kid, I think it was more like volume.
Yeah.
It was more like fill out all the stuff that you're going to play with. And truth be told, I was as a kid, I was happy with a fucking Nerf hoop that Treasy and I could fucking tear each other's eyeballs out with. You know, like that was the shit we were doing.
Because you're a foot taller than me. That's
we were doing that shit at home. I could shoot the 3 just fine on the Nerf hoop. All right. I was happy with all that stuff. I mean, like I laugh. I'll post shit on Twitter about Super Jock. But we would be in my grandparents' front room and we'd be trying to hit the longest field goals on Super Jock. You got pound Super Jock in the head and have it kick a really long field. I mean, this is like what we did with ourselves.
Dude, honestly, Super Jock might be the greatest Christmas gift we ever got.
Oh, there's no question. I wish I had a Super Jock right now at my house.
I honestly wish I would have known this a week ago because Saturday I saw one at a store.
No!
Yes. And it was just chilling there and I was like, oh, I remember that.
If you ever see a fucking Super Jock again, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. You get us a fucking Super Jock.
You know what? I will talk to
Stop bringing me Old English. Bring me Super Jock.
So, yeah, no. Hey, go ahead.
I'm finished. I have bought big gifts myself, but I've gotten less of those.
I'm gonna throw something in real quick. Well, My Sex Summer opens this big fucking bottle.
I love
this big Christmas bottle of Heineken that he brought.
That's gonna be mostly for the after show.
Well, no, this is gonna be for the fucking right now. But so I heard you mention the car, but not the bow.
Not the bow,
right?
Yeah.
So like a friend of mine actually bought. He and his wife were going to get a car anyways, and so he surprised her and got the car for Christmas and did like the whole surprise thing. Cool. And he was like, he was like, I looked up, like, let me get one of these bows, to put the bow on top of the car. Those things are like $500. Those fucking bows. Those fucking bows are like $500. It's an insane fucking
That
price
bow is really worth that fucking much? You gotta be kidding me.
No, there's no fucking way.
They are. It's $500. I don't think it's worth that, but it's definitely cost $500.
So the car is worth whatever. Let's say.
Oh yeah.
Let's say the car is worth $40,000 or something like that. You gotta pay $500 more for that bullshit? Give me a break. Like, who the fuck's paying that shit?
Now we are struggling to get this Heineken. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, so beautiful.
You needed my rubber. That was
Teresa,
It is a. We
had an apparatus that we could use.
We have 1 quart of Heineken. That was I told these guys I was going to get the finest lager that I could find at Walmart, and this happened to be it. And it was
this
the right
bottle's
price.
fucking ridiculous.
How many Heinekens have you drank in your entire life, Teresa?
Under 20.
I was gonna say it's not very many. Me either.
I've drank a lot of Heineken.
Heineken's fucking terrible.
I've had like 20 times the amount of Amstel Lights.
I'm going to drink the shit out of this. I'm going to be so happy to drink this Heineken after drinking a Colt 45 and an OE.
And an OE?
Just fucking, just garbage.
My Sock Summer.
So you gotta
baby.
tell us yours,
So
man.
I don't like. I feel bad because you guys were talking about how, like, you know, the Castle Grayskull and what. I remember at Christmas I got Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain.
Oh, hell yeah. That's
and
nice.
I don't remember why. I don't remember. I asked my mom this recently because I was just confused because I just recently sold them both on eBay. And I was just like, why? How did I get this? Because, like, I don't remember ever being into it. She's like, you had to have asked for it because I wouldn't have bought it for you unless you asked for it. And I was like, okay, I'm just missing parts of my life. Like, I don't remember why. But anyhow, the
early heroin years of my
I love
summer.
that shit.
Our parents were always big on, they would get us a bunch of stuff for Christmas, but like, it was never the really high price stuff, but like, they would get the things that mattered. Like, they would knock down the garage and build a fucking basketball court in the backyard because there was a path for us to play basketball and we were going to play basketball in high school so we could practice more. So it was like, they always did all of that stuff. They always provided all that shit. They were always at like every single game. They were at all the stuff. Like, that shit.
Mad Max was coaching.
That's right. Yeah, he was out there coaching on the Little League team. That shit's way more important than tangible gifts, which is why I can't remember the tangible gifts, but I could obviously remember all of that shit right there. Yeah. I could obviously remember, like, him coaching, which was so much fun. We had a bad team in Little League, but I had a great time. It was the most fun I had playing baseball.
Yeah. My dad never coached. He was never a coach. He was because he ran his own business, so he just didn't have the time to do that. But he always told me, he's like, you're not going to get everything you want, but you're going to get what you need. Like, and that was, I'm sure he stole that straight from the Rolling Stones. And like, so it became his philosophy. But like, he was 100% correct. You know, like he just, I mean, we were like a little bit different, you know, philosophically, but we were like very much in line, like in the big things.
That's why when you were a teenager, he knew all you needed was a pack of clothes and you'd be happy up in your fucking room.
I don't want to derail this podcast anymore, but I do have a story with my dad at cloves. But he used to be like, that incense you're up there smoking, it's just really, really strong. Or you're not when you're smoking, but when you're burning. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty strong, Dad. And I'm smoking cloves in my room. It was awesome. So yeah, hey, great answers. I love that. I appreciate that. And
so it's time to pay some fucking bills,
Let's
man.
do it.
Hi, I'm My Sock Summer. Then my wife and I bought a house in lovely Bridgeport. We made only one call. That call was to Dan at Dutch Movers. Dan and his crew took good care of our stuff and even set up our bed. Have you ever seen a guy lug a dresser down 2 flights of stairs on his back? I have, and it was magical. If you are in need of reasonably priced mover in the Chicagoland area, give Dan a call at Dutch Movers at 708-331-2990. And as we say in the 108, if it ain't Dutch, it ain't much.
Oh yeah, nice read there. It is time for
What
last
time
call.
is it? Last call!
Last call! I've been sort of thinking we should add on a 4am bar. Maybe once we get to the summer, we'll add the 4am bar on. But last call, I think we should start with our guy, Teresa E. Let's go, baby.
So,
Because he's going to pass out before this is over.
I told you guys the question that I was going to ask before the show so that you guys could come up with stuff. But fuck that. I'm going to give you a different question.
I love it.
So I put out a poll from the 108 account recently of who's in more pornography, Santa Claus or Mrs. Claus. And so I want to ask your opinions. If you were to watch a Christmas-themed pornography, who would you rather watch in the film, Santa Claus or Mrs. Claus?
I'd like to go first.
Does it have to be the...
I like that you're jumping in this quickly.
It has to be the representation of what we would think of as Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, right?
Whatever's on your mind.
Whatever your mind
Not
goes.
like a sexy
Whatever your
Mrs.
mind
Claus.
You tell me whatever you're
You
thinking.
figure it out however you want.
You tell me whatever you think.
Okay, I'm going to go with Santa Claus because Santa Claus is in a lot of different places. He's got to squeeze his way into things. He's got to figure stuff out. He's got to leave presents. There's a lot of possibilities for this. I haven't dreamt them all up. I'm sure directors have. But I would go with Santa Claus easily. Not even close.
You're going Santa Claus. Santa Claus goes to, like, Ariana Grande's house.
He goes, I mean, yeah.
But then you got Santa Claus kills himself.
He could go to the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders' house. I have no idea.
So I think you're right. I think that's a good call, right? But I would take a different angle on it as Santa Claus is going to all these different places, so he's banging a ton of chicks. But am I convinced that Santa Claus is straight? Maybe that's not my bag. You know, I mean, it's fine and all, but I'm just saying maybe I don't want to watch that. So let's slow down with Miss Claus, right? She's at home. Who's coming in there?
Who's showing up there? Who knows?
Right? There could
Santa's
be
out of there.
Santa's
right?
gone.
Well, everyone knows when he's gone.
There's definitely a lot
I'm saying
of people.
who knows who shows up.
Right, well, yeah.
There's a lot of people waiting for that night, right?
There's no question.
So Miss Claus could have a big thing. Now, if we're talking about Miss Claus that like I see in like every comic, hell no, man. I don't want to see that. I'm hoping Santa's pulling a little bit more better tail than that, right? When he's out and about amongst everything.
So that's where my mind goes, right?
Yeah.
Like Santa Claus, I mean, like obviously he's running this huge business.
Corporation.
And he's got enough money to just give away fucking 1 billion toys at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? So I'm going to guess he's got at least like Melania Trump level woman at home.
You think he's on? You think he's on wife 3?
Easily. He's killed off a few. You know, he's had the reindeer eat him. Whatever fucking has to happen. But so she's she's good looking. You know, and then and I'm sure Johnny Sins. The guy's a fucking doctor, a lawyer. He has every job. Why can't the motherfucker be an elf too? So he's out there, you know, he's doing his thing in the elf world, and then there's a night when Santa's gone for a little while. You know, shit goes down. I think
My Suck Summer. This
movie writes itself.
This is off 108 Brandon using Johnny Sins over J-Mac. That's all I gotta say. All right, it's a little upsetting that he went down that road. He didn't use J-Mac. He should.
J-Mac definitely. J-Mac's
like, the tall utility player that you're always talking about.
J-Mac is like dunking on Johnny Sins. Like he's getting nutscaped right in the face when he's dunking on Johnny Sins.
But here's the thing: Johnny Sins is the man who's played every profession in the adult film world.
See, this is why J-Mac is above Johnny Sins. J-Mac doesn't even pretend. He's just like, yo, I'm here to bone you, and here it is. That's what I do.
Merry Christmas.
Merry fucking Christmas.
I like that in our group chat we were talking about how there was no porn chat, and
I
definitely made that happen. Oh shit! Dropped my pen.
My Sock Summer. Give us your last.
So I got a little quick hit with the Sox Fest, and the first thing is I don't know if you guys were looking, and not that you guys would know anyway, but like there's no Ron Kittle listed as appearing at Sox Fest this year.
Oh really?
Which is just like it just does not add up to me, and it is going to somewhat ruin my Sox Fest if Ron Kittle is not there. And it makes me sad. So I was going to text Aloha Mr. Hand about this, but I was looking through the lineup and I was like, this is ridiculous. So here's another thing. And I'm just going to break down some numbers for you guys because you guys don't really pay attention to this stuff. There are going to be 12 current players signing, okay? There's going to be 8 alumni players signing. The alumni is like Baines, Carlton Fisk, Hawk, Carlos May, Bill Melton, Tim Raines, Jim Thome, and Dwayne Wise, which is awesome. Like they're doing the Dwayne Wise bobblehead, so it'll be sweet to get that autograph.
I also heard there's going to be a seminar, Dwayne Wise and Adam Engel, how to rob a home run. I heard that.
Really?
I actually read something on Twitter.
I
think it'd be hilarious to like see that seminar.
That would be fun. So you know what? I can get you guys a pass. One of you guys could go watch that. They have 7 prospects coming in. Micker's going to be there. Basabe, is it Basabe?
Yeah.
Okay, so Cease, Collins, Eloy, Madrigal, who's magical,
That's true.
and Lubab they're all going to be there. Which is Lubab is like I feel like is probably going to be the most Bob guy.
Do Lubab or Basabe speak a fucking lick of English?
Probably not.
Okay.
And Eloy doesn't either. Like
Eloy speaks English. He does.
I don't know if he speaks it very good.
He does. He actually speaks pretty good English.
Oh, all right. My interaction with him, he did not seem to speak English. Maybe he didn't want to talk.
He didn't want to, yeah.
So then we have the 12 current guys. But here's something that is the greatest part about Sox Fest. There's 8 coaches signing.
8.
Why?
8 coaches.
Who?
Okay, that's where I'm going to flip it to you guys because we're going to go all game show tonight. So who are the 8 coaches that are signing?
Coop.
So Ricky.
Hold on. Let me get my pen. All right. So you got Coop
and Ricky.
Coop and Ricky.
Coop.
Daryl Boston.
Yep. Daryl Boston.
Steverson?
Yep.
Nick Capra.
No. Oh yes. Hold on. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
You got
Lyle?
1, 2, 3 more.
Matt Lyle?
Nope.
The new guy?
No.
Who's the demon? The strength and conditioning coach. What's his name?
I don't know the guy's name.
Is he not with them anymore?
I don't think he is.
Oh shit, that's a bummer.
Richard Dotson.
No.
I assume minor league coaches included in this, correct? No.
These are current White Sox coaches.
What, are we considering Herm Schneider a...
No, he's not on the team anymore.
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he got cut.
Right.
They cut the fat.
Not all of it. Coop's still there.
I
got no clue.
All right.
Who else?
Kurt Hassler. Joe McEwing. And
Joe
Greg
McEwing.
Sparks.
We should have gotten Super
So, and then, and on top of that, 4 broadcasters. We all know the 4 broadcasters. But there is 12 people that, like, I'm sure little kids are like, you know what?
That?
I can't wait to get my Jason Benetti autograph. He is probably the most desirable one out of all of them.
Really?
Because, well, if you're putting Hawk as an alumni and not as a broadcaster, which I understand he's an alumni.
Sure.
But, like, what the fuck? Like, and no Ron Kittle? I don't know. I'm really...
This team gets good. Let's say the team gets good next year. How many games does Hawk do?
20.
Maybe.
I think so.
So, and then I'll let one of you guys go because then I have my last little segment that I want to do. But, so yeah.
Sounds good. I'll go next. I had a lot of stuff I was lining up for this, but actually I ended up with a White Sox hypothetical. So everyone's going ape shit about the Harper Machado signing, as well they should. We are too. So I wanted to lay a hypothetical out there for you. 3 choices. Pick one out of these 3. Number 1, you could sign Harper or Machado.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 2, you can give any player on the current roster an 80 grade tool, an elite tool, to add to whatever they're doing right now. So you can make them incredible at one specific aspect of the game, and then that just goes with their profile. Or number 3, you can pluck a player from the 90s White Sox, not named Frank Thomas, and put them here in their prime, and they'll be as good as they were in their prime. So it's not like, no worry about era adjustment, the fact that the velocity and all that shit. They show up here and they're good like they were in the 90s. Let
me ask on that last one.
Yeah.
What contract do I have them signed at?
Wow, that's deep.
Any imagination of contract, any fair market value contract you could sign them to right now.
Okay.
For any of those guys. Teresa E, My Sox Summer, you want to go first?
I'm taking the A option of that one. The first one.
Which one will you sign?
Which one?
Which one? You got to pick one of them.
Okay.
You got to pick Harper or Machado that you'd sign.
Okay. You know who's gonna hate me? Is Mr. Hand.
You'd sign.
I'm sticking with Manny just because I think that is more of a significant hole. I love Harper. I think I don't love him. No, strike that from the record. I like him, and I think he'd be great for us, like on and off the field.
Yeah.
But like, I'd rather win baseball games. I mean, I would like to win baseball games and have both. But I think that Manny fills a hole that we desperately need to have filled.
I mean, I think that answer is. I agree. That's probably where I would go. That's the easy answer. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say if at a fucking reasonable contract, like somewhere like $10 million a year. I want Robin Ventura at third base.
That's not.
It's exactly what I thought about when I thought about those things.
I just feel like that's been such a hard position for us to fill.
Plus defender, plus hitter.
Yes, and
manager.
I mean, everything about him except for the managing is fantastic, and that's the guy that you want at third base. That's
a good call.
Want to like fill that hole right there. That's who you want, and so. I have to go with him at like a reasonable like $10 to $15 million a year contract because then you have so much more money just sitting around and you have that position taken care of.
I think he would fill that Bryce Harper type role too. Like
totally agree.
Off the field
He's only slightly less good than Machado.
Yeah.
Right? And so you plug that guy in there.
So there's definitely something wrong with me because when you're saying 90s, I'm automatically thinking 2000s, and Bartolo Colon is like in my head. That's the guy you should pick because he's been around for forever, and we get a lot of years out of him. Like that's a good Jerry move. So
my thought on this was I would give Tim Anderson an 80-grade hit tool.
Oh, boy.
Because if you give Tim Anderson that huge contact. He becomes basically like Francisco Lindor or Francisco Lindor light. And so you end up with a guy who's a superstar.
Yeah,
at shortstop.
I thought about Engel 80 grade power. That would be an interesting scenario,
for
right?
sure, right?
Like Engel hits 200, but he hits 25 home runs.
It was Anderson or Engel for me actually.
Yeah.
Like give them some sort of the batting tool that would really enhance their profile.
He'd be a hell of a center fielder if he hit the ball like
my
a
God.
mofo.
Give him the 80-grade hit tool. Forget the power.
All right.
Let him put the ball in play a lot, and he hits 300.
I think My Sox Summer's got something fancy to end us with.
I do.
Let's throw it down. Let's
see what happens. Good?
This is good. This is the end.
All right. So,
yeah, my friend.
So, loser talk takes from Facebook. That's what I'm going with, okay?
I love it.
I've been seeing a lot of things written on Facebook, and it angers me. And I have engaged with more people in the last week than I have in probably a lot of years on Facebook. I'm going to read a couple takes that I see, and I'm going to continue to do this in my last call, so just be ready for it. And I'm going to respond to these people when they cannot respond back. First one is, just a thought. Ernie Banks couldn't make the Cubs a winner. Mike Trout isn't making the Angels a winner. One guy doesn't guarantee a winner, no matter how much they get paid. Even when they have a few other decent players around them, teams with an above-average group of players and a good organizations win.
Oh, my God.
First off, who the fuck are you? This is ridiculous, okay? I'm angry as I'm talking right now, okay? And I didn't even finish this fucking quote. So let me finish it. What could Harper or Manny really do for the dysfunctional White Sox? What could the Sox do with so much less money for players in the future? Take a pass on these guys and build a team and try building an organization.
All right, so let me
I just stood up.
I know you're angry, but let me throw something down.
I stood up
because I
don't like it.
I've been on this similar train of like bringing in Harper or Machado is not enough. right? Like you have to do that,
Correct,
and then do other things. But bringing them in helps it make it easier to get these other guys.
It doesn't help it. It's fucking vital. You need superstars.
Like you bring in a Harper and AJ Pollock it's much more likely to go. Yeah, I would sign.
I'll show up there,
right?
Yeah.
Like I'll do that, or Dallas Keuchel. Yeah. Oh, they're building a thing here. I just saw this happen where I was at.
Yeah.
Like I'm in. Right. That's the kind of, and so that's the building block. And no, I know I gave shit to Harper when we first talked about it because I was really just trying to bust Aloha Mr. Hans balls. But I did
is a 108
I did
tradition.
end my rant with like, if they signed Harper, I'm in. Like
we all want there.
But it's weird to not want them. Like it's why would you not want the best guy available? Like it's not like the best guy available like there's the best quarterback available is Kirk Cousins, let's overpay him. These are guys who are unreasonably young being free agents.
Yeah.
And incredibly talented. So you're not buying a guy in his 30-year-old year. These guys are 26. This is unprecedented. This is why someone like Jerry Reinsdorf would go, yes, I would spend money on this because a 10-year contract only takes him to 36.
Right.
It's like you don't get that opportunity ever. That's a rare thing. And there's two of these fucking guys. Yep. Yes, you're going to go after them. And to say, like, I don't want either of these guys, that's just fucking insanity.
Stupid.
Like, why wouldn't you want the best guy on your team? You don't have to pay for it. Like, you're not paying the $30 million.
Correct.
It's outrageous. I'm fucking flabbergasted.
Teresi, my Sox summer, it's amazing how many fans will protect the owner's checkbook. It's amazing.
We get a cut or something.
Yeah, it's like, do we get kickbacks for our season tickets when they don't spend all the money? Fucking no, they put it in their pocket. No. We should get all the entertainment value, so we should want them to spend as much as fucking possible. Is it possible that our seats will go up a couple bucks? Yes. Who gives a fuck? I want a good team out there. I want to be out there with you guys enjoying this baseball. I want to have a good team. I want to be pissing on the opposing fans. The last 5 years-ish, we have opposing fans that come in, they're getting too comfortable, they enjoy our stadium, they know they're going to kick our fucking asses there. I'm sick of that bullshit. Right? I don't want that. I want to intimidate the fuck out of those people.
Man the fuck up.
Exactly. Let's man up on this shit.
No, so I'm 100% with you, and I just, no. This is what's coming down the pipe. And why are they protective of Jerry's wallet when right in the second sentence we'll say, Jerry's a cheap old fucking bastard, he won't pay for shit. He's a cheap motherfucker. That's why you can't, he doesn't want people to come to the stadium because then he doesn't have to pay rent. Yeah, well now he can pay fucking rent.
Let me tell you, right now, I got a fever. And the only thing that's going to cure that fever is more of whatever you got on that paper.
I got more. So this is another great take. Well, I don't like this, in quotations, star player. I look at it as a high risk, high reward situation. And why gamble with all these prospects on the way? That's my take.
How the fuck is it high risk to get a guy who has consistently had like a 350 OBP and hits 30 home runs? How's that high risk?
These guys are buying your superstars. The prospects are the high risk.
Yes.
And it's good to have a lot of them because a bunch of them will shit out and a couple will make it. This is the way you gamble. This is the way you build a team.
That is something that I brought up to this person. This person is somewhat, has some good folklore in the Chicago or in the Facebook Chicago
the community?
Sox, whatever. So, and the thought process here is we have a lot in the hole. I don't want to gamble going forward. And this was specifically about Harper. And it's like, I don't understand why you're not willing to gamble on a guy who's 26 and is commanding a shitload of money in the MLB versus a guy that's in Double-A, that hasn't proven that he can hit, or Single-A, that hasn't even proven he can hit Double-A pitching, and then he definitely has not proven he's a hit MLB pitcher.
This is why casinos are open.
Right.
Because people don't realize when they're gambling. Like,
oh, God.
If you say we have Luis Robert. Why would we want Bryce Harper? You are gambling way more than you fucking know, right? You do not have to pay Bryce Harper's contract. Someone else is paying that,
and we have the money.
So, saying that Bryce Harper is high risk, high reward versus Luis Robert is high risk, high reward is insane. It's just, it doesn't make sense.
No, it makes zero sense.
The chances of Luis Robert never hitting 30 home runs in the major leagues is way higher than someone who has already done it multiple times.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, the safest free agents in the market are the very top of the market. Occasionally, and Chicago people will be conditioned to have this example. Occasionally, you'll get Jason Hayward, where it doesn't really pay out.
But here's the thing.
But it didn't totally shit out on you.
No.
There was some value there, so it wasn't that terrible.
He gave us,
but here's my problem with that, with that idea of like, these are very different players that you're looking at. Because
True there.
Hayward and a guy like Carl Crawford, those two guys, when they went into free agency, a lot of the same questions came up about both of those fucking guys. And you saw that they were going to get overpaid. There's no one sitting there, no one with reasonable baseball knowledge is thinking Bryce Harper or Manny Machado is about to be overpaid.
That's true.
Just that narrative is not even there.
Not by any professionals.
Not by anyone who knows
a lot of
fucking
fans.
anything. Yeah, sure. There's people that are like, Manny Machado's lazy, so don't give him that money.
Right.
But they don't know fucking shit. So like, I'm not trusting
Absolutely.
that. The people that know about baseball, there's not people going, Carl Crawford's never hit over 20 home runs. Or you look at Jason Hayward and the power profile is just not there.
Yeah.
Right? Like those were the questions about those guys.
Yeah.
And Jason Hayward was a unique position because he was young still when he became a free agent, and he had all of the he's a big prospect and he looks like he could be good. He hadn't really proven it yet, so it was, you were paying a lot of money
with the bat,
with the thought
the defense was a
this
big
guy's
part
going
of
to
the
be
profile.
the best right fielder in the league, which he could still
which
he
he
still
basically
defensively is.
Yeah.
But you assume like the bat's going to come along.
Yeah.
It's going to come along. For these two guys, all the shit's already there. There's nothing for them to prove.
You're not betting on the come for any of this.
These are fucking fantastic baseball players who just also happen to be 26 and free agents. It's a huge difference.
Agreed.
So like comparing the two just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% on board. This person has also referred to Harper as done 3, who I'm assuming that
because he's from the Nationals?
Adam LaRoche is the done 2.
I think that's probably
and and I just don't, I don't agree with that. So that's my take on that. My my last one. Quote, and this is the best one. And I responded to this guy, and we had quite an interesting conversation afterwards. And he said, with this shit show of an organization, I have no faith in anything they do. Which I responded with, why are you a fan? And he said, because I've always been a fan, and I'm always going to be a fan, but I just don't trust the people that run the organization. So, and I guess I'm not trying to ask you guys questions, but it's like, have the White Sox not shown that they're willing to do something? Like they showed to me in 2016 that they took the best pitcher in the American League and they traded that motherfucker for prospects.
Yep.
Like they showed that they are willing to blow something up to try to make something better. So I bought in, and I know we've kind of, we've all, basically bought in, and it's like, okay. And it's just, I feel like the patience is wearing thin for some reason, because a lot of these guys that are going to get on, they're going to get on the Twitters and they're going to get on the Facebook when we've done something and something materializes from this and say they were the first ones to believe in this rebuild, but they're impatient in year 2, at the end of year 2. You know, and it's like that's not how it works. Like you need to like buy in, and you got to write it out for a little bit before you say, "Oh, well, you know, they're not doing it for me anymore."
So I
Thoughts?
So I have some thoughts here because I think a lot of people like to throw down on the Sox and go, they're the organization that hasn't spent $100 million on a contract, so they're cheap, right?
Right.
But I think people are forgetting some of the more outside of the box shit that the Sox have done, right? So like back in the day when everyone was like, when you were pretty sure the owners were colluding, and saying we're not going to spend a lot on free agents, they went out and spent on Albert Bell, right?
Yeah.
They went out and got Albert Bell, right? You look at the 2005 Sox, right? Before that year. They fucking traded Carlos Lee. If we were doing this podcast right now and we saw Carlos Lee traded for Scott Posednik, we'd be fucking lambasting the goddamn front office and be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Carlos Lee is a home run hitter and you're getting this rinky-dink center fielder. Fuck this guy. And he only hits 290. He's got bad base percentage, but ends up being a really good leadoff hitter for that team.
Yeah.
Then you get into the Jose Abreu piece. They outbid everybody.
Yes.
On Jose Abreu. Right?
Blue Bob too, right?
So when they saw, and that was going to be my next one.
Yeah.
When they see something that is a game changer for them, they will go out and outbid. Now, they haven't done that traditionally in free agency since Albert Bell.
Yeah.
But the Abreu, the Lubob thing, they pick and choose their spots. And I think right now, they're looking at this and going, there's a very special condition in free agency. And we're going to go at it with everything we got. With a major rager. We're going to get in there. So that's why I have some... I believe that they're going to go after this. I believe that they're going to do everything they can to sign these guys. And I don't buy into they're cheap. No. I buy into
they're smart.
They have a tough situation because they can't fill that park unless they're winners. And so the only time they can really spend is if they know they're going to bring home some wins. And Jose Abreu, that's a good spot. That's where they're going to do it. Lubob, that's a spot. They're going to do that. And now Machado and Harper, I think they bring one or two of those home.
Yeah, they're gambling. They definitely can gamble.
I'm okay with that. With fans being skeptical of certain parts of the way they're trying to rebuild this team, and I'm actually okay with fans saying the ownership is cheap. But I mean, it's sort of a blanket statement. All of MLB ownership is cheap because if you look at the valuations of the assets, i.e., the ball clubs, and then the revenue streams that people know about, they all don't spend out the way you would think they would spend out to try to continue to build. If you were running a totally free market business, you'd spend more than they all spend. But they're not. It's a different game.
And you think you can't believe that the luxury tax is there because the owners want to keep it even amongst all of them. It's there because they need a fake salary cap.
They want to suppress salaries. So once you know all that's true, the White Sox aren't any cheaper than any other organization. They play right along with how they make money.
Right.
Okay? And if anything, they probably, if you went back in history, they probably spend a little more than a team who makes what they makes. We get disillusioned by the fact that they're in Chicago. So we think, oh, well, it's a big, huge market. But the big, huge market's crowded out by the Cubs. The Cubs crush them in this market. And we know that. I'm not sure how they attack.
Yeah, A-Rod.
I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, I saw that with Lucas Giolito, right?
Yeah.
No, A-Rod's totally right from a individual person or individual organization.
It's a huge market, but it's also dominated by
other
teams.
Two markets.
Yeah. If he was a Mets player, he would have understood
he would have
what Lucas was saying.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. That's correct. But I also don't mind people challenging the club when they make a move or saying, you know what, that's probably not the right move. What I don't enjoy is if you're going to challenge everything. You're going to assume everything is the wrong move. I mean, there are certain people like that out there.
Yeah.
They're just going to be negative all the time. And you have to either ignore them or try to like set them straight, but you're never going to be able to get them to get off their negative plane. They're always going to be sort of like, oh, this all sucks. I can remember, not to use an example from someone we know, I remember someone who was a family member who was a big Blackhawks fan who hated Corey Crawford. And even when they won the cup, he was MFing Corey Crawford. It's like,
that's awesome.
When does this ever end?
But if you're going to do that, do it.
He was the best player.
You're going to live and die.
Had the best performance out of anyone who won this championship that you watched wall to wall, and you still hate this guy. Like, respect if you're willing to do that, but like, that's not how I'm going to live my life. I don't think that's how you guys will live your life.
I agree. Do you have more?
No, that's it. That was the last one. I will bring this back at in the new year.
I love it.
Yeah,
that was great.
All right. Well, I can't wait till Friday night. We're gonna do some airing of grievances.
Please.
I hope some of this is.
Please come by.
Now, I was just checking the DMs.
Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna start around 8:00.
It looks like we're pushing the start time to 8:00.
Probably start about 8:00,
which is going to be tremendous. Might get a little lubed up by then.
Yeah, we'll be in good condition by then. So
there's no question.
So everyone, I hope you're listening to this on Thursday when we release it, and it come out on Friday. Hang out with us at Low Res 2101 South Carpenter, and have a happy holiday. Hope you guys all enjoy your holiday and your New Year, and we'll be back at the beginning of the year to give you some stuff, and maybe in between there you might get a video of me and Beefloaf doing a little something for you. Maybe even maybe a little New Year's Eve video. We'll see what goes down.
We're thinking about it. We're potentially working on it. We'll see. It might be right after we celebrate.
Yeah,
be the first content you get of the year.
We've had a lot of malt liquor tonight, so I can't tell you that anything we're saying right now is legitimate. But but enjoy yourselves, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Go favorite us on all your podcast
absolutely
outlets and give us reviews that are really, really good. And if you have really, really bad reviews, hit us up on Twitter and tell us why we suck. We'd love to hear it.
Peace.